I see your shoulder. Hi, Bill. I see your comment. Good morning, everyone. I'm here. All of me is here. All of me has made it. Well, at least the physical part that you can see, all of me. There may be pirates still in bed. You never know. All right. I am just getting Instagram and YouTube today. Let's see if we can get both Instagram and YouTube going. It's probably going to, well, I'm not going to say that. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. If you guys do me a favor and share the live, TikTok has officially told me they're not going to respond to my requests for support anymore for the fact that they're hiding my lives and taking down content for false claims. And they're like, literally, I'll post a video on here soon. But they literally are like, we're not going to respond anymore to you. And I said, but you haven't responded. You've just said the same thing over and over, which was read the community guidelines. I have read the community guidelines. My content does not violate community guidelines. So if you can point out where it does, then we don't have an issue. But otherwise, you're talking about censorship, discrimination, and potentially a legal matter. And then they're like, we're not going to talk to you anymore. Oh. Am I cold? Yes, it's cold. So if you guys would do me a favor, again, and just give the live as many shares as you can here. So we can beat the algorithm.
You mean dragon noise?
My son is doing his own class in the background, so we will hear him a little bit. Hey, Talking Towers. Thanks, friend. This is our tiny yoga class. It's a 30-minute gentle flow chair yoga for everybody in every space. All you need is a place to put your butt. You don't even really have to have any yoga experience. You don't even have to be really flexible at all. You just need a place to put your butt and a willingness to show up for yourself for about 30 minutes. It works really good, doesn't it? Have you been using that, those analogies for yourself? Great Cole, that's messed up with them. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. I actually did, why is Instagram not going? Of course, I pulled some cards about it this morning. And they basically, you know, were saying the cards as they do, kind of repeating what I already knew, what I already felt, which really was to not focus on that piece of it. Don't focus on the violations. Don't focus on the false claims. Don't focus on the stuff being taken off the FYP. Don't focus on it. Yes, you know, submit the appeals and do the proper thing, but don't let it overwhelm you, because there is it basically was like, you know, this is not the end of it, and whatever ends opens a new door. So I don't know what that means in terms of, because the cards are cryptic as always, in terms of my ability to continue to do classes online. Okay, well, I guess Instagram won't even, oh, there we go. Hi, Instagram. Yay. I will say again, as always, remember, if you like these classes, if you like my content, if you want to interact with it more, if you want to have a space to talk to me, ask me questions, and like go through this material, go join the Discord. Patreon.com/movewithchange. There is a free link to get into the Discord. I will not charge you in there. If you want memberships, if you want donations, you want to do shit like that, that is entirely up to you. There are plenty of options over there, but there's also a free link to get in the Discord. And if all the social media platforms go down, we will still be in the Discord. That goes for you too. YouTube and Instagram. Okay, give me just a second to deal with Instagram's really funky framing here. And then we'll get into our flow. Couple minutes in. Usually we start, hey Badass Blind Woman, usually we start about 10:10 to give everybody a few minutes to get here. Great call. Thank you, friend. Again, it's not, yeah, I'm not worried about it. The message will keep getting out, and whether it's through TikTok or not, that's okay. Even if it's by word of mouth. Hell, if I have to mail mudras to you. I will support the U.S. Postal Service and mail mudras to you every week. Wouldn't that be great? Let's just get off the social media entirely and let's move back to snail mail. And I will snail mail you your mudra every single week. I'll have a Spotify playlist for the meditations and it'll be great. Right? Right? See, don't worry. Don't worry. You will always get mudras. That said, remember for the month of December, I'm taking a lot of time off of lives. I'm still going to be doing these Friday classes, and I'm probably going to be coming on for shenanigans and reading books, but I'm not going to be doing a lot of the content like normal because I am planning for a bigger year next year with a bunch of other stuff that we're exploring the energy body. We're going to get really deep into the energy body next year, and I'm really excited about that. And so I want to have time to prepare and spend the ending of a year, closing out of a year with my son while we set our intentions for the next year. Okay, if you would like to join me for an exploration of your inner cosmos, aka a 30-minute gentle flow, don't be scared. Come join me. Find a place to put your butt. I'm going to bring the comments up bigger because I am framed properly. So, on all the devices, yes. Remember that we are live today on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Instagram often goes out at about an hour's mark, but hopefully it will stay going today. Yes, we have faith in you today, Instagram, that you will stay part of the party. And TikTok, if you guys could just do me a favor and like, share, interact with the live as much as possible so we can get them live shared out despite trolls be trolling. Despite TikTok talking. If you got some tea or coffee, take your last sip before class. I might give you a second in the middle of class to take a sip too. So, but we'll see. No guarantees. No guarantees. When you are ready, find the edge of your seat. Ooh, we're almost there. We're going to take this last minute to settle in. Folks that are already here, find the edge of your seat. Plant your feet on the ground. Make sure your thighs are shoulder width apart. Knees stacked on top of ankles. Just close your eyes for a moment as we wait for 10:10 to roll around. While you're here, send your awareness down into your feet. Noticing any points of connection, whether you're barefoot or wearing shoes, doesn't matter. Just focus on the points that you can feel the earth. You can feel the ground or feel your shoes. Remember, the only experience of the outside world that I have is the way that it feels within me, the way I experience it within me. So focus on the earth or your shoes or whatever it is as in the way that you feel it in your feet. That sensation is your only way to feel the earth, to feel the ground. All right, it's officially 10:10. Let's roll right into our practice. We'll take 3 deep breaths to fully arrive. Begin by inhaling through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale a second time, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Sigh it out. Settle into class. Inhale again, this time lifting the heart and lifting through the top of the head to elongate the spine. And exhaling to melt the shoulder blades down the back. Scan the body. Take this moment to scan the body from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, from your armpits to the backs of your knees, to your fingers, toes, butt cheeks, ears, to the very tip of your nose. Give your whole body a scan. And in this moment, just look for any points of tension that may still be holding. Relaxing the body often does not happen when we first relax, right? The more you relax into that relaxed state, the more we unravel the underlying layers of tension. Go ahead and seal the lips if you haven't already, and follow the breath, inhaling all the way to the top. Exhaling all the way to the bottom. Take a few breaths. Thank the dog for watching out for the farm. Good job, doggo. And let everything else fall away but this moment here. You can keep your eyes closed as long as you would like to. We're going to slowly move into the neck. You don't have to match the breath with anything. Just start slowly moving your neck around. We're not seeking to pop the neck, although many of us snap, crackle, pop anyway. Start rolling the head in one direction. And then the other. Remember, you are your own guru. Only you are in your body. Only you know what you need. I invite you to take this opportunity to become familiar with your body, with the points of tension, with the places that are relaxed, with the places that are sore. Switch directions if you haven't already. Come back to neutral. Tip your chin up towards the sky, inhaling. And exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale neutral. Gazing over each shoulder, back and forth. Remember, we're not seeking overextension. Just saying hello, saying good morning, saying I love you to the muscles, to the body. Move back to neutral, and we'll shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Go ahead and release your hands if they're on your lap. Let your arms hang loosey-goosey by your sides. Shrug your shoulders really high up, keeping a nice long neck, and drop them with a ha. 2 more times. Inhale, pull them all the way up. And ha. Let that shit go. 1 more time. Inhale them all the way up to the ears. And exhale with a ha. Roll the shoulders one direction. And roll them the other. Roll them opposite directions, if you can. Or maybe just one after the other. I don't think I can do opposite directions. Come back to center. Shake your shoulders out. Take your left hand. Put the back of your left hand behind on your low back. Reach across as far as you can. And then take your right hand, reaching across for your left thigh or your left butt cheek or your left hip, and twist. Inhale. Exhale into the twist. Sorry. Little twist here. Go ahead and release. Other side. Right hand. Back of your right hand on your low back. Then slide it, reaching across. Inhale. Reach that left hand across to the right thigh or butt cheek or hip and twist with an exhale. Little twist. Nice long spine. Come back to neutral. Place your hands on your thighs and we're going to move into cat-cow. So inhale, I like to slide my hands forward towards my knees. Inhale, lift my chin, send my chest forward, gaze up towards the ceiling, tip my tailbone so I can wag my tail. Big deep breath in. And exhale, pushing back, tucking the chin, curling the spine, tucking the tailbone. Inhale forward. Lifting the chin, sending the heart forward, tipping the tailbone. Wag your tail. Inhale. And exhale. Push back. Tuck the tail. Tuck the chin. 2 more. Inhale forward. Roll those shoulders back. Exhale back. Roll those shoulders forward. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral, this time taking your left hand to grab your right thigh. Inhale, sweep your, did I say that? Left hand to the right thigh. Cross your body. Sweep your right hand up over to the side. Stop at the top, extend up through the top of the head, extend through the tips of the fingers. Keep the shoulder down. Make nice long extension here, lots of space. Inhale. And exhale, tip the body to the left with a little side stretch. Come back up to neutral. Extend again, reach up, and release that right arm. Other side. Right arm over to the left thigh. Inhale that left hand up overhead. Extend through the tips of the fingers. Extend through the top of the head. Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale for a side stretch. Just a little guy here. Come back up to neutral. And release. Bring the hands together at the heart. Palms together. Send them up overhead, all the way. Little back bend. Come back up to neutral, and we're going to turn into another twist. This time, go ahead and pick your side. Turn just your torso. Leave your butt cheeks planted on the seat, your feet on the ground, and your knees facing forward, shoulder width apart. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the fingertips on the top of the head. And exhale, twisting to whichever side you'd like to go to. When your torso stops, exhale and open the hands. Front hand on that front knee, back hand behind you on the back of your chair or placed on your bed or whatever's behind you there. If you don't have space for that, you can reach this left hand around the body as well. Breathe here, focusing on the nice long spine. Gaze over that back shoulder, keeping the integrity of your posture. Allowing the breath to sink you deeper into the twist. We're going to take 2 more big deep breaths. Exhale completely in your twist. Inhale again. And exhale to slowly untwist. Remember, you do not want to slingshot yourself back forward. Shake it out a little bit, then bring the palms back together at the heart. We're going to do it for the other side. Inhale, send the palms up, reaching to the tops of the fingertips. Little back bend here. Come back up to neutral, lifting through the hands and the top of the head. Inhale, big deep breath. Turn your torso to the other side. Once you find the stopping point, exhale, open those arms. Front hand to the front leg, back arm behind you or wrapped around the body. Gaze over that back shoulder and let's take those deep breaths here. One more big deep breath. Inhale. And exhale to slowly come out of that twist. That's nice, huh? The number of my viewers hit an all-time high just now. Hi, guys. Thanks. All right. Back to neutral. We're going to move into little torso circles. So again, with the torso circles, make sure that your knees are shoulder width apart. They're stacked on top of your ankles. Feet are nice and grounded. Place your hands on your thighs, or you can hold onto your chair or your bed and just move the torso around as if you are using the spine as a spoon. Scoop around the bowl of your pelvis. Any direction you'd like to go. I like to start small with little circles and progressively make them bigger and bigger. Take your time here. If you notice anything jumpy or the movement is kind of rickety, yeah, sure, like the chair, then maybe start a little smaller, go a little slower. Find the smooth movements here. If that means that your circles are just small circles this whole time to keep them smooth, that's better than to be pushing yourself past your edges. Switch direction. I really love the torso circles, but we won't spend too much time here. Back to neutral. This time, place your hand on your chair, on your bed, grab a hold of your chair. Inhale, sweep your right arm over to the side, up above you, reaching through the tip of the fingertips, reaching through the top of your head. Inhale. Exhale, dropping into a deeper side stretch. This time, gaze past your armpit, up towards the ceiling. Try not to offend yourself as you take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale up, exhale, release. Place that right arm on your chair and sweep the left arm up again, directly overhead, reaching through the tips of the fingers, reaching through the top of the head. Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale, drop down to the other side, gaze past your armpit, and breathe. 3 deep breaths. Inhale, slowly come up. Release the arms. We're going to move into the legs. So, little hip lifts before we move into the legs. You can grab your chair, you can grab a hold of your hips, and just lift your butt cheeks off either side. Back and forth, back and forth. Thank you guys for the follows. Back and forth, back and forth. Just lift your hips, back and forth, back and forth. And come back to neutral. Find yourself. Make sure that you're not so far. I have moved myself to the edge of my seat and I'm about to slip off. So find the edge of your seat, but make sure that you are also stable on your seat. Then we're going to interlace the fingers underneath the right thigh. Pull it up, hugging, inhaling, pulling it up towards the chest. Hug. Exhale, kiss the knee. Cross the right ankle over the left knee and drop it open for a seated pigeon. Make sure that your right foot is flexed and it remains flexed. This is going to protect the knee joint. And we're just going to sit here for a few moments. If you want a forward fold, take the forward fold. I encourage you not to put too much pressure on this knee because remember, in this space we invite more room. We invite these positions rather than forcing ourselves into them. So resting your hand on the knee is fine if it feels comfortable, but do your best to just release tension. Breathe here. Again, fold if you'd like to as well. And just see if you can allow a little more space in that right hip. For some of us, this is a really tight space. There's a lot of holding here. This is our sacral chakra. rules the joints and the hips and our ability to remain flexible and fluid, not just physically, but also emotionally and energetically. If you are in your forward fold, go ahead and roll up. Everybody else, bring that knee back up to the chest. Hug your right knee in, point your toe, and exhale to release the right foot. We're going to go for the left. Interlace the fingers underneath the left thigh. Pull it up, point your toe, hug to the chest, and inhale. Nice long spine. And exhale back down to kiss the knee. Thanks for all that you do, wonderful knee. Flex that foot and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Hell, if you're doing it the opposite way, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Just as long as you got one and then the other. Allow the knee to fall open. You can, again, rest your hands. You can forward fold. I highly recommend going into your leg if you're forward folding. That way you're not putting a bunch of pressure this way on the leg unless you can do so without putting pressure. If you're in your forward fold, go ahead and stay there. If you are seated upright, go ahead and focus on the posture. Nice long spine. If you want to do a little bit of forward fold, feel free to do so. As you do this, make sure you keep your spine nice and long. I don't want anybody putting an anvil on their knee and forcing it open, right? We can invite more space just with the breath. Elle, you made it. Welcome, friend. We are about halfway through the class, but remember, everybody, replays are on YouTube. I am at Move with Change on YouTube. Replays of these classes are always available. If you don't see a class, please let me know. It means it didn't get recorded, and I can post it. Hey, friend. If you guys are just joining, find the edge of your seat, and we're going to come right out of this position here. There's a little bit more of class, so you can still join us. Go ahead and pull that knee. If you're in your forward fold, go ahead and roll up. The rest of you, go ahead and bring that knee in together. Bring the knee in, point the toe. Give it one last hug. Whisper some sweet nothings. I really love my knees. Thank you for allowing me to dance and to play and to hula hoop and to run and to climb things. Thank you so much. Go ahead and release that other knee. Stack the knees on top of the ankles, feet connecting with the earth, thighs shoulder width apart. Find the edge of your seat again, and just drop the knees side to side. This is a good addition practice. Yes. So Tiny Yoga, as we are wiping our knees here, Tiny Yoga, this class, came out of my own avoidance of my full practice because I didn't have enough space to do my practice. I was living in an RV, or I felt nervous about going outside to do my practice. I didn't want to be seen. So I made a million excuses not to do my practice, mostly space related. Some of them also are mobility related. When I wake up in the morning, my mobility is pretty limited sometimes. Sometimes I can barely move in the morning. So Tiny Yoga is what I started doing on the edge of my bed. Come back to neutral, and I realized it was so stinking effective at getting me back into my bigger practice that I wanted to share it with y'all. So welcome. Thank you for joining. Oh, you started doing Qigong. Nice. Do you do it live, friend? I'd love to. If you give me a follow and send me a message, I'd love to check it out. I like class sharing. I like especially free classes. All right, we're going to move into our hands and feet. This time, extend those hands out in front of you. Spread your fingers nice and wide, pressing your palms forward. When you're in this position, you want to send the intention as if, I like to think of it like Iron Man or superhero kind of stuff, right? You are sending energy out through the palms of your hands. They've got to be pressing forward. And as you do so, there's so much energy pushing out that you can feel it pulling back on your fingers. You feel all that energy pushing out of your hands? Keep it going there. Keep that energy nice long extension in the arms, lifting through the top of the head. Keep the integrity of the spine. Make sure the shoulders are pulled back to neutral, not pressing forward and not pulled so far back, right? Find neutral. Keep those arms extended, hands pushing that strong, powerful energy out. And then we are going to inhale to lift the toes. Lift the toes. Pull the toes back towards the shins. Inhale. Exhale, drop the toes, lift the heels, and drop the hands, palms facing in this time. Send that energy back towards yourself. Keep those fingers nice and spread wide. Inhale, toes up, palms out. Exhale, heels up, palms in. Try to reach the full extension. Really send that energy out. Really lift in the heels, lift in the toes. A couple more times. Inhale, palms out, toes up. Exhale, heels up, palms in. Again. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Hold. Send that energy out. Lift the toes. Push, 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 push. Exhale. Heels up, palms in. Hold the exhale at the bottom. Release. Release the hands, release the legs. Give it a little bit of a shake, give it a little bit of a wiggle. Interlace your fingers back behind your back. Yes, the force is strong, my friend. Interlace the fingers behind your back and give yourself a little bit of a pull for a seated camel. Pull, lift the chin. Allow the shoulders to roll back. Open the heart center. Open the chest. Take a couple of breaths here. Find big, deep breaths. What's our time? Release the arms. We're going to go, let me see. You guys want to go a couple minutes over? We're going to go a couple minutes over. 4 o'clock? Nice. Okay. Thank you, friend. We're going to go a couple minutes over. Go ahead and extend. Place your hands on your hips or hold on to your chair. Yeah? Perfect. Place your hands on your hips or grab a hold of your chair. Point your right foot out in front of you. Keep it nice and extended. Long spine, lifting to the top of the head, and then do little circles. Draw little circles with your toes in one direction. Keep breathing. And then the other direction. Keep breathing. Flex the foot. Drop it down slowly to the floor. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Slowly slide your right hand down the right leg. Grab the inside of your foot or the inside of your thigh if it's available. If the foot is not available, reach up behind you for another little twist. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lean a little bit further back. And exhale, come back down, fold toward the knee. Slowly roll up. Bring the right leg back to neutral. That felt good. Let's go for the left one. Hands on your thighs or hold onto your chair. Extend, pointing the toe, left leg. Hold, breathe. Hold the leg and breathe your breath, not the breath. Small circles in one direction. Try to keep the integrity of your spine. Nice long spine while holding that leg up. A couple of circles in one direction. A couple in the other direction. Nice long spine. Flex your foot and slowly release to the ground, keeping that left leg extended. Long spine. One more time. Inhale. Slide your left hand down your left thigh, reaching for the bridge, the inside of that left foot. And then open up for another twist. Couple of breaths here, leaning into your twist. Exhale. On your next exhale, go ahead and come back down, folding toward that leg, that left leg, and slowly roll back up. Extend both legs out in front of you. You can walk them out a little bit if you need to. Walk those knees out a little bit. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lifting to the very top of the head. Exhale, walk your fingers down your legs as far as is available. Keep those feet flexed. Again, it'll help protect the knee joints. Fold as far as is available to you. Take several breaths here. Forward folds are a really nice opportunity to breathe into the back body, something we don't think about very often or do very much intentionally. So I encourage you to take this opportunity to breathe into your back body. Go ahead and come out of your forward fold just a little bit. Extend through the top of the head. Grab a hold of the ankles or the shins. And we're going to go for one more twist. But we're going to cross our hands across the center. So bring your left hand to grab a hold of your right ankle. Inhale that right arm up. Twist. Inhale. Exhale back down. Right hand on the left ankle. Inhale. Twist. And exhale back down. Fold one more time and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Ish. Give your shoulders a roll. Bring your feet back to the earth. Knees 90-degree angle. Shoulder width apart. Close your eyes for a moment and just give your body a scan. Go ahead and release the breath. Release any other intentional holding, any other intentional part of the practice, and just notice. Any points of tension that you may still find in your system, I invite you to allow them to relax. And that can be just by giving them permission, saying to yourself, go ahead and relax, relax arm, relax shoulder, relax jaw, or we can invite it with the breath. Inhaling, imagine the breath, inhaling to that space where you feel the tension. And then exhaling, allowing the tension to be released, carried off on the exhale. If you need to make small adjustments, give your shoulder a roll, give your belly a wiggle. Find what you need in this space. And otherwise, just take note, just notice. So the last piece of our practice is always to sit with our mudra for the week. Our mudra this week is the Kubera Mudra. It is one of my favorites. So if you have the mudra, no need to open your eyes. You can just go ahead and grab the mudra if you remember the mudra. Here is the mudra for this week, the Kubera Mudra. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to send me a message or come join the Discord, I'm happy to talk to you a little bit about like sharing practices and things. I always do my classes for free. Yeah, we should chat. We should connect more. Okay, so for those of you who do not have the mudra yet, hey Brian, I missed you. Hey TJ. Sorry guys, it's hard to see folks. from so far away. Tiny yoga is a lot further away from the screen than usual. Here's your mudra with no more chattering. Here's your mudra. Left hand, make an L with your first two fingers, with your index and your thumb. Index and the thumb, make an L. Then you bring this left hand to your solar plexus, turn it right in front of your belly, hold it out a little bit, and turn the palm up. This is your base. Your right hand, make an airplane or the I love you sign with your right hand by dropping your middle and your ring fingers into the palm. Now we're going to land this plane on our base. Okay, we're going to do it like this. We're going to make sure that the pinky lands at the tip of the index, that the index lands at the tip of the bottom thumb, and that the top thumb lands at the base of the bottom hand, right above the wrist. Now you can land your knuckles right on top of each other, or I like to slide the top knuckles underneath, top fingers underneath the bottom, and kind of latch them together there. This is called the Kubera Mudra. Now I have to be careful because TikTok starts to take me down for talking about things like this. However, this is one of the mudras that activates activates self-healing in the body. It boosts our immunity. It cultivates patience. It balances the elements of fire and water in the body, specifically the heart and the kidneys. This one, because it boosts overall immunity, is profoundly effective for chronic conditions, especially the one that starts with an E or C and ends with an I can't say certain things, otherwise they take me down and tell me I'm using substances when I talk about why mudras work, is my guess. So here is your Kubera Mudra. Huge immune boosting, balancing heart and kidneys, fire and water. Go ahead and hold it here, anchor it to your solar plexus. Remember, your solar plexus is anywhere between the base of your sternum, your rib cage, and above your belly button. So anywhere in this central belly area, you can hold this close up onto the belly, or you can hold it a little further out. Find where it's most comfortable to hold. Remember that we hold our mudras with intention, not tension. So I don't expect any of you to be squeezing or pressing too hard on any of this. Why? If you do that, one, you're going to gum up the energy channels, but two, it's hard to hold if you are holding it with a bunch of tension. So let's find it with intention. Then we're going to get into our posture with those same 3 deep breaths, and we're going to hold this mudra for 5 minutes. Remember, we hold our mudras for a minimum of 5 minutes because it takes about 5 minutes for energy to circulate through our system. You were tucking your thumb in for a week? Ah, dang. Yes, friend. What's up, son?
I pay for the Pokemon PE class because we didn't already pay for it.
Oh, yeah, sure. I did pay for it at noon. The one at noon. It's already paid for.
12.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
Okay, go ahead. If I see a second charge, I'll just call them and get it fixed. Sorry. My son found a really cool homeschooling program where he can get all these tiny little programs for like $5 here and there, and they're really cool classes. So, here we go. We're going to sit with our mudra for 5 minutes. Hold on to your mudra for here. You're already a couple minutes in. So, 5 minutes begins now. Here's your mudra if you don't have it. Left hand, make the L. Turn it palm up. Right hand makes the plane or the I love you sign by dropping the middle and the ring fingers into the palm. Land this plane. Top pinky to bottom index. Top index to bottom thumb. Top thumb to base of bottom hand. And place your knuckles on top of each other in the center there, or tuck those top knuckles underneath the bottom and anchor it in. Rest in front of the solar plexus or directly on your belly, whatever feels best to you. And let's take those 3 deep breaths to fully arrive here for our posture, for our practice. Inhale through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and into the belly. Feel the way your belly expands underneath the mudra. And sigh it out. Inhale again, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Big deep breath. Let it go. Inhale again, lifting the heart and lifting through the top of the head to elongate the spine. Exhale, melting the shoulder blades down the back. Tuck the chin ever so slightly to bring intention to your posture. Release any other holding anywhere in your body. The only holding we're doing is with the intention in our mudra. Seal the lips and follow the breath. You can spend your entire practice just listening to the breath and releasing tension anytime it arises in the body, in the breath, in the mind. If your mind is particularly busy, remember that it's not about perfection. It's not about perfect silence. It's about being present with the process. Patience is something we cultivate by being present with the process. So anytime a thought arises, tension in the mind, return your attention back to the breath. You can anchor your attention on the mudra, noticing the way the sensations in your fingers, in your hands, of all these connection points. See if you can feel any vibration, any wiggling, any kind of energetic movement in your hands. Wherever you rest your attention, return it there anytime it wanders off. Nothing more, nothing less. The longer you stay with this practice, the more it will resonate within your system. So just breathe. And come back to your anchor again and again. If you're feeling particularly antsy, I invite you to offer yourself a smile. You can stay with this practice as long as is available to you. We've completed our 5 minutes, so if you'd like to close, go ahead and take a big deep breath in. Hold the breath at the top. Imagine the breath is filling your entire body, swirling around, clearing away any debris, any wreckage, anything that needs to be cleared away. Let it continue to do so until you cannot hold the breath any longer, and then take in a little more air and let it all go. Release your mudra. Keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to bring your hands together into prayer or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice. in gratitude for the prana, in gratitude for the tools that allow us to align and heal and rejuvenate our meat bags. Thank you for this experience. And thank yourself for self-care today. Fuck yeah. You joined me for class, that's a little bit of self-care. Even if you just joined me for the mudra, that's some self-care. Thank you for joining me and cultivating this CAYA space where we can learn and grow and thrive together. When you are ready to completely come out of your practice, I invite you to rub your palms together to warm them up and cup them over your eyes, fluttering your eyes open behind your palms so you allow just a little bit of light in at a time. Badass fine woman, the turtle one is, what is it, Vozy? Cozy? It's so cozy. Okay. Let's rearrange. Hi, lad. Okay, that's what I thought, cozy. But it could be a cool new word you're introducing me to. Pretty tunes. I joined just in time for the mudra. I know this week, you guys, I'm sorry, I haven't done it. Maybe as soon as I close the live, maybe I will do it. I can't guarantee. I keep saying I'm going to. I didn't make a video for this mudra this week, so it's not pinned at the top of my content, and I do apologize for that. You're very welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your support and encouragement, sharing the live, inviting all the awesome people in, and being awesome people in here. Do you guys want to see something really cute? So what is this practice? What practice? I call it tiny yoga. And honestly, I'm a storyteller, and so I'm a very visual person as well. And as I was talking about before, this class came out of my avoidance of my full yoga practice. I had all excuses, mostly that there wasn't enough space for me to do yoga, and I didn't want to go outside and do it outside where people could see me. So, and then I moved back into my teacher training. I was in the middle of it and then ceased, right? I was like struggling to get into that part of the practice. Drag the puzzle piece, because you've detected an activity. AI is broken. Anyway, point being, I started doing yoga on the edge of my bed to get myself out of bed in the mornings because of limited mobility, and realized that I had been making it's just excuses. It was just excuses. So, but why do we call it tiny yoga? Tiny yoga because the image of the genie often comes to me when I have limited mobility, right? I think about the genie coming out of the lamp where he's like, 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. And he talks about how he has infinite cosmic powers, but it has to be stuck in an itty-bitty living space. And that's how I feel about our bodies. Like there is an infinite cosmos within our bodies, but it appears to be such an itty-bitty little space, right, that we live in. So tiny yoga was about the exploration of any size space, especially the ones that seem small. So if you're doing yoga in an RV or in your office or in the front seat of your car, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm just playing with the name. You're able to hold the mudra for 5 minutes. Yay, Ella, I'm proud of you. Good job. Fantastic. There are a lot of people who are bedridden or live in their cars that this would help. Yes, I agree. So any of those people that you know, I would appreciate if you share this with them. Remember that I am Move with Change on all the platforms. I'm on all social media platforms pretty much, I think. I've tried to be, but I do these classes live on TikTok and YouTube reliably. Sometimes Instagram stays on board. Sometimes one or the other goes off, but replays are available at Move with Change on YouTube. So if you want to just send people the YouTube replays, you can do that too. I do have membership options. So these classes are free. And there will always be several classes open and for free on the YouTube channel. At some point, I do start putting them into an archive so that I can have like a support, donation member or replay membership, basically. Because I've been doing this class now for a year. Has it been a year for Tiny Yoga? Maybe not quite a year for Tiny Yoga. I think we started it in February this year, maybe. Pretty toots, you felt the heartbeat in your fingertips. Yeah. So this one balances again. It balances heart and kidneys. Heart, fire, kidneys, water. And it balances immunity. Let's do it again. You guys want to do this again? Left hand. Make an L with your left hand. This is a really interesting mudra. We talk a lot about energy, right, in this space and the different channels and how mudras work. And this one's really interesting. So let's do this one together. Left hand, make the L, drop the last 3 fingers in. Turn that palm up in front of you. And with the right hand, make your airplane or your I love you sign by dropping the middle and the ring finger into the palm. Now we land this plane top pinky to bottom index, top index to bottom thumb, top thumb to the base of the bottom hand. You can either anchor the knuckles like this, or I like to slide the upper fingers underneath the bottom ones and anchor it down like so. Yes, son?
I love you, and I'm just waiting for coming in here to wait for my class.
No, my love.
Because
I love you so much.
The teacher's not there, and it's nearly 12 o'clock.
It is not nearly 12 o'clock. It is an hour until 12 o'clock. So.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, I love you so much.
I love you so much, too.
Draw me a Pokemon card. Draw something for your aunt.
I already got a Pokemon card drawn.
Okay. I love you.
Love you, too. Be right back.
Okay. So, back to the mudra. What are these channels? Ooh, hold on. Let me get something underneath my butt because I just rolled my ankle in a not great way. You guys want to see my new meditation pillow? Do you want to see my new meditation pillow? My son got it for me recently. Look at this. So, you know what's really cute and funny is because when I sit on it, it goes beep, and the mushroom just turns into a little thing, right? You don't see the guy. Isn't it cute? I nearly died because we went the other day. He was like, I want to buy you Christmas gifts, which is hard to do as a single mom, right? What am I supposed to do? Like follow him around the store or let him wander around by himself and just stand? I don't know. So we did this together, and he was asking me what I wanted, and I was like, I don't know. You know, I'm not a thingy kind of person anyway. But then we came across the big box of squashmallows, and I was like, it was between this and a piece of sushi. They had like sushi ones, and I was like, no, I think I need the mushroom one.
Here's the Pokemon card.
Badass Blind Woman, I'm so damn proud of you and all you have done for yourself, your kiddo, and strangers. I love you so much. Especially dealing with the pushback from TikTok, you know, I do kind of let it get under my skin a little bit, and not because I feel offended, not because I feel like, oh, I'm doing something wrong and I've got to fight back about it, but I genuinely feel sad that I can't just get this out to more people, whether it be the Tiny Yoga or the mudras or just the general discussion about energy and about, you know, how the energy body works. And that's what all next year is going to be about. So if you know anybody who could benefit from it, might be interested in it, please share, let them know. And then, okay, now we're going to talk about the mudra like I promised. Son, can you show me afterwards? I asked you to make one. We have an agreement about. They push the boundary. They push the boundary until I state the boundary, and then he pretends like, oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. Oh, I gotta go. Eli Lynn. Plantastic. They started flagging you for that. I talked about that a lot in my lives, but they're private. So mine are public lives. I don't do them privately, but I have been flagged several times for what they are saying is hate speech and substances and nudity, apparently as well. None of which has been in any of my content. And there are some, you'll see me post videos about it because I'm finding that if I post a video about it, typically the appeal gets approved very quickly, but with the lives, there's no way to appeal it. And I submit tickets, but they, like I said, they literally told me today that they're going to stop responding to me about the lives. Yeah. Plantastic. You wonder if someone's reporting me. I figure I've got a troll somewhere. I don't know how to weed out the troll. And, you know, again, I don't want to spend my energy trying to find the snake in the grass. You know what I mean? I'd rather just wish it well in hopes that it finds its way home and finds a more peaceful place to be instead of trying to, I don't know, whatever, you know. We must remember. We must remember that when people are intentionally causing disruption or discord or cultivating tension in our lives, it means that there's real tension and discord in their life. And for that I can have compassion, right? Who's that frog parking? Others will be towed. Thank you, Bill. Of course that was Bill. I'll show you guys, I'll make the video to show you guys the response they gave me, but they literally said, we are no longer talking to you about this matter. And I have multiple times said, you haven't responded to me about this matter at all. Not at all. What you're talking about now is discrimination or censorship. I don't know what the issue is, but if we need to pursue legal action, we can also do that. Because I am, a nonprofit, turning into a nonprofit. But they don't respond. They just send me back the same. Try voodoo, Bill? No thanks. Yeah. So. Great, cool. Maybe we can create TikTok vigilantes for improper bans. That's what I've been trying to do by posting the videos about it, so that you guys go and, because those videos, that every time I post about it on the content and say, look, they told me this video was whatever, right? And then you guys go spam that video with a bunch of beautiful stuff and interact with that video, the appeals get approved really quickly. But again, I have no idea how to do that with the live. There is no way that I have found to do it with the live at all. Can you place protections on lives? You could do things like filter comments, but people can still report you, and because they can just come into your live and report you for anything, even if it's not actually the truth. Yes, Juliana, I call you to a higher level of integrity, TikTok. I call you to a higher level of integrity. I don't know if it's TikTok. I think it might be the actual users. I think it might be users of TikTok, which is, again, you know, I call them to a higher place of integrity. Hey, Forrest, makes no sense. I've seen more really, really inappropriate content that's all over the place. Agreed. So I don't know why they're posting my, or harassing my content, but I'm taking it as a compliment. It means that what I'm sharing is so effective, is so good, is so quality. What did somebody say last night? They were like, you have so much substance. That's why they're claiming your videos have substances in them, because you just have so much substance. Oh, okay. That's it. Tapping and sharing is a big protection for the lives. Interaction is huge for them. Thank you, Badass Blind Woman. And I don't want to tell you guys to do gifts and stuff like that. I know they do boost the lives, and I know absolutely the more gifts that my account gets, the more money it makes TikTok, so the more they share stuff, right? I don't want to encourage you guys to engage in that. I don't think you should be paying a platform like that. If you want to support me, go to Patreon. TikTok takes 60% of what I make on here through subscriptions and otherwise. It's because I'm giving people the cheat codes. Yeah. That's why I tag, right, the videos. This is cheat codes. This is why you choose to do Qigong lives private to protect yourself. I totally understand where that people are coming from. I totally understand why people create content and then lock it down so that you can't share it or download it or duet it or stitch it or add it to story and all that stuff. I completely understand, and I honor your path. I feel called to remain open and not put up boundaries because of, I'm not going to leave the park because there might be a snake in the grass. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to be more present, to cultivate more intention within me, right? Bill, make an algorithm doll. No, no. So here's the other thing. It's also like, there's also AI. Forrest, have a great day too. I don't know if it, like I said, I don't know if it's AI. I don't know if it's the algorithm. And I'm very hesitant to blame AI. A lot of people want to blame AI, and I am not a fan of doing so. I don't think it's a smart thing to do in terms of like a future relationship with AI. I think TikTok has always been really good in terms of the algorithm, right? This is why we're here. YouTube doesn't show us the amazing stuff. Sorry, guys. Instagram doesn't fucking give you what you want, right? Like, you got to really work on those platforms to be seen and to see what you really want, because they are intentionally, the algorithm on these other platforms is intentionally cultivated so that you see what they want you to see. TikTok is different in that way. It hasn't really been like that until maybe more recently. What you see on your feed is what you interact with. That's why we all love it so much. Badass blind woman, I'm proud of you. Speaking more politely to your AI. Okay, see, Instagram died as soon as I started talking about that stuff. Good night, Instagram. Love you anyway. Okay, we are still live on YouTube. Oh my gosh, you guys, I apologize. We got so into talking about that and my mushroom toadstool, that I forgot we were talking about the mudra. I apologize. So let's grab our mudra again, and I want to examine what happens with this mudra. Pretty juicy, you absolutely should. Okay, so here's the mudra. If you don't have it, make an L with your left hand. Make an L with your thumb and your index finger of your left hand. Drop the other fingers into your palm. Turn this palm up in front of you. With your right hand, make the airplane or the I love you sign by dropping your middle and your ring finger into the palm. And then we're going to land this plane right on top of that L. We're going to land it with the top pinky on the tip of the bottom index. The top index on the tip of the bottom thumb. The top thumb at the base of the hand. Now you can rest, you can land those knuckles like so, or I like to slide the top knuckles underneath into the palm, into the hands there, so that it anchors it a little better. Now we want to hold our mudras with intention, not tension. Nobody should be squeezing your mudra because it won't stay very long. You can't hold a mudra very long if you're pushing, and energy has a flow to it. So if you are kinking that flow, imagine it like squeezing your hose, right? Expecting water to come out when you put a kink in it. So this is really interesting, right? We know that this mudra specifically works on fire and water, right? Balancing fire and water. So what do we have? Where's the fire? You guys remember what channel is the fire channel? The thumb. The thumb is the element of fire. So my element of fire here is touching what? What's the index again? Air. We bring fire and air together, which air feeds fire. So we are improving, boosting the fire element in our body. And then what are we doing with the water element? What's the pinky? That's water. We are also putting it to air. Hey, Vec Luke, how are you, friend? You see that? Both fire and water are connected to the air element in the body. Do you want to see that again? Fire is the thumb. Yes? So your base thumb on your left hand is touching the index finger of your right hand. The index finger is air. Fire and air fuels that fire. And then we've got the pinky, which is the element of water, touching the left index, which is again the element of air. Air, allowing us to clear out and energize. I like to think of mudras like this where we use air as if you open up all the windows in your inner temple or in your home, right? And let that a big breeze blow through. That's a lot of air coming through to clear out the space. Now, we also put our right thumb down to the base of the hand. My brain is blanking on, because it's not an element at the base of the hand. But I want to say it's like, it's not, my head keeps saying moon, but that's not the moon center of the hand, I don't think. I'll have to look it up. So then we put fire here to the base of the hand. We do know that pressure points at the base of the hand, at the wrist, can help with things like nausea and depression. So stomach and lungs, heart. And our stomach or our solar plexus area is our center for immunity. This is our immune center, our overall wellness. If you want to boost your immunity and boost your overall vitality, you work with the solar plexus. So I wonder if that's the connection there, the fire to the stomach. And then we've got the other elements, spirit, or ether, and earth, tucked in, inside. Safely housed inside our turtle shell, protected. So without triggering another violation on TikTok, this mudra is used in yogic traditions, in the Vedic medicine. I can't use that word either, can I? This one is used for ongoing, I'm going to try to change my word, ongoing concerns, issues, dis-ease, right? When we're not at ease, when our body is out of balance and unwell, and chronically so. I think chronic is another word that's probably going to trigger them, especially in regard to the types of things that start with the letter C and ends with the sound of those. This is suggested. This is, I can't use the word, the P word. This is for treating C. Sorry, guys. This is why I like Discord. And again, we hold it in front of the solar plexus too, which boosts the immunity, bringing fire. It is a really soothing mudra, isn't it? Thank you, friend. If you have any chronic concerns with things like hypo or hyper conditions in the system too, this one balances that as well. Hypo and hyper. What that includes, what? Glycemic, thyroid, tension, right? Hypo and hyper. So that means any chronic immune disorders, disease. I'm only holding it up this high so that the cameras can see. Sorry, guys, because it goes right here in front of your solar plexus. And actually, I can feel the difference too. It does make a difference where we hold it too. Can you do this mudra for too long or too much? No. So I have not seen any contradiction to this mudra, and because it is specifically for sorry, I read the next comment. Let me reread yours again. The brain. Can you do this mudra for too long or too much? No. Because it is specifically for chronic things, things that are repetitive or things that you've been dealing with for a very long period of time, this is one that I wouldn't think would really have any contradictions. But remember, you are your own guru and your system is unique unto you. So if you find yourself using this mudra and for some reason it does not feel good, it feels uncomfortable, or it causes excess heat, if you have hot digestion, you've got a lot of digestion going on, or if your immune system is already, I was going to say, if your immune system is already fast, but this actually balances the hypo and hyper in the system, like we were just talking about. If any mudra, but the caveat is, if with any mudra you feel discomfort and it's not safe to just sit within that discomfort, then let go of the mudra. There are so many mudras. I don't even know if there's actual like a number of this many mudras, and that's it. There's also spontaneous mudras where we allow ourselves to just find what we need in the moment to help us bring balance. So if you use this mudra and it's too intense for you, try something really simple like the Gyan Mudra, right? You're bringing air to fire still. If you really want to, do an air to fire and a water to, no, that's water to fire. Shit, how do you get water to air? Nope, you have to cross your hands for it. You can also do the Prana Mudra. The Prana Mudra is a really simple, also foundational mudra that boosts your immunity. This boosts overall vitality in the system and solar energy in the system. This can be used just palms up in your lap. This one can also be used, I really like to use this one if I'm feeling an excess of energy or feel like I need to be grounded, because you can use this one as a tether to the earth. You've got your Prana Mudra here. You can do it with 2 hands, and then you drop one hand to touch the fingers on the earth, on the ground. Can you see that, YouTube? There you go. And you hold it here. So you can keep your one here in front of you or laying palms up in the lap, and then you place your other one on the earth. You can place them both on the earth if you would like to be grounded, deep in that grounding. Joe, knowing the difference between positive and anxiety, negative anxiety, is a gift. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I like to play semantics in those, situations. Do I even call it anxiety if it is positive? And the question is, who is judging positive or negative? Is there a such thing as negative anxiety? That's a good question. I wouldn't actually, speaking it out loud, I think I'd shift it and say there is no negative anxiety, because all anxiety is tension in my system, and all the tension in my system is my check engine light. It's my body saying, hey, I need your attention. Can you help me out with something? We need to find balance again. And that's a gift. So the gift actually for me is anxiety. It's not good or bad. Actually, again, no, it is good. Dang it. My anxiety leads me to my healing. My anxiety leads me to peace. Sending you love, Mama Yeti. Grateful for you. Thanks, Lunar Cyclone. Great Cole, how do I know if it's working? Or if it is more, this only works if you want it to. So, okay, great question, Great Cole. And actually, I was going to make content on this earlier this year, because at the beginning of the year, I got somebody who asked me a question about basically that. Like, how do I tell that these are working? And is it just kind of if I believe it, then it's going to happen, and if I don't, then it's not. Obviously, the more of your attention you give something, i.e. your belief that you give something, and the more belief you give it, yes, the more you solidify it as true. That is part of manifestation. However, energy work, the energy body, the energy channels, the elements in the body, and their correlation to the physical body as well as to the energetic body. The research for that has been around for, I had it on a post-it note. It was like 1500 BC. There is research written down, outlined, just like in about the energy body, about the interaction between two people's energy bodies, about the interaction between our energy body and animals and plants and the earth. There is huge bodies of research in the East of energetic medicine and how to treat. I mean, acupuncture, acupressure are based on the energy channels and the movement of energy through the body. What we're doing with mudras is just activating essentially pressure points on the hands and using those elements to, using the combination, right, of those things, those pressure points and the positions and our attention to redirect the energy channels in the body. Now, when I go to my acupuncturist, she's not going to put needles in the tips of my fingers. No, because she uses the other parts of the energy channels. I can use pressure points on energy channels with the same effectiveness as I can use mudras. I teach mudras because they are literally right there in your hands, right? You don't need anything else but your hands to do them. And I'm very much about the foundational stuff that's accessible, simple, even if these are kind of twisty, right? Yes, badass blind woman, my anxiety is sounding alarm that something is imbalanced. Imbalanced. And what a gift. Beck Luke, I don't know. I have panic disorder from CPTSD. I don't think that's a gift. It's crippling. I have CPTSD. I have total panic attacks. I still struggle to go out into public without having some degree of anxiety walking with me. And so I feel you in that regard. And still I stand by what I said. It is crippling, but it's crippling in my inability to manage it, in my inability to meet it. Oftentimes I find it's crippling because I'm fighting it, because I'm resisting it. And yes, there is a degree to which when the body is so out of balance, it's going to scream at us. And we may say, there's nothing good about the body screaming, but it is. Because this is my ally. And the louder it gets, the more it says, I am not giving it my attention. What does it need from me? Joe, when we control our breathing, we control our mind, our body, everything else in between. Pranayama, the term pranayama translates to control of breath. But in yogic tradition, we don't really talk about control in the same way that we do in the West. We talk about control more as the awareness of the breath, right? It's not about controlling my breath at all times. It's about being present with my breath, which is very much about being present in the moment, and using my breath to balance and align my system is a really powerful thing. Again, with breath, the energy body, the physical body, these are all these different ways that we can align and heal ourselves. Well, I was in agoraphobia for 10 years, I understand. Yeah, somebody asked me recently if I have agoraphobia, and I'm like, I don't know if I would call it agoraphobia. Like, I wouldn't, put a label on it like that. But it certainly does feel like that. But I understand that it comes from previous trauma and a lack of security in my own body, right? And that's been a lifelong thing. And I've only really gotten deep enough to understand that in the last 2-3 years. So I can give myself grace. Do I feel nervous about going to the grocery store? Yes. Do I employ my mindfulness practices to get me to the grocery store, into the grocery store? And oftentimes I leave the grocery store feeling better, feeling grateful for the experience? Yes. And some days I allow gentleness. And anxiety says, I don't want to fucking leave the house. And I say, you know what? That errand to the grocery store ain't important today. So let's not. Let's do some artwork instead. It's a negotiation. It's a constant negotiation. And I found that when you haven't been negotiating with your parts for all these years, but you have been demanding things of them and forcing them around like we usually do, vilifying our ego, vilifying our emotions, propping up only certain aspects of ourselves to say these are the best, these are the ones, whatnot. We're compartmentalizing ourselves. We're pulling ourselves into pieces and creating tension. I love you, Vec Luke, and I hope that nobody takes this as me like telling you you're wrong. Your experience is your experience. I'm only sharing my experience in response, in reflection, right? Vec Luke, you say that for you you think it's the false alarms. If good anxiety is a real alarm. And that's what I'm wondering, what's the false alarm? Because in my experience, I'm going to the grocery store and I'm sitting in the grocery store, and what I might call a false alarm is when anxiety grips me and there's absolutely nothing, no evidence around me that I can access with my prefrontal cortex. My prefrontal cortex is my thinking, examining part of my brain, which can look around and say, wait a minute, how did this happen? But what I'm doing, as soon as I do that, is I pull my energy from where I'm experiencing it, pull my focus from the experience itself, and I put it up into the brain. I detach a little bit because I intellectualize it. And that's not a terrible thing. But if we have maybe ADHD brain, or we are a little neurospicy, when we intellectualize the sensation, we can end up in a cycle of rumination, trying to sort out why the sensation happened. And that creates more anxiety. That perpetuates even more of it. Oftentimes bringing back the feeling over and over and over again, right? For me. So I have found it most effective to just feel the feeling. To not say it's good or bad, to not judge it at all, but just to hold space. Listen within myself. Sometimes, I ask. I'm like, are you okay? It's like having a little kid on board, right? And going, oh my gosh, you seem upset. You seem stressed. You're making a face. There's something I cannot, right? With an infant or a young child who's still learning to learn, we can't always communicate completely clearly. And as a parent, it's very frustrating at times, but we recognize that's just the job of parenting, is that we learn to communicate. Anxiety is a child we can learn to communicate with. Depression is a child we can learn to communicate with when we take that responsibility. And I'm not saying that's easy. I'm not at all saying it's easy. I had to lose everything to be willing to do this. In fact, Luke, I called you during a panic attack once, Rev. You had me breathing correct and calmed in minutes. I love you, my friend. Plantastic. These techniques are great for managing PTSD symptoms, which helps with healing anything that balances the nervous system. Well, that's it. The nervous system is interacting with like all of the parts of ourselves too. So when we're dealing with PTSD, we're dealing with a system that's on overdrive. A system that's gets triggered and goes, right? What are those reactions? They're the past reliving itself in the present moment. Plantastic. Yes, having interception helps us pull back from the free fall of a panic attack. And I want to be able to speak about my experience without it feeling like I'm trying to tell anybody theirs is wrong, right? Vec Luke, I have no reason for I think as a result of damaged flight or fight responses. And it's especially in those moments that on my journey these last couple of years that I have found when it's those kinds of panic attacks, when it's that kind of anxiety, I don't call it bad. I just give it my attention. I don't try to intellectualize it. I don't try to figure it out because I know that it doesn't have words. I've tried to talk to it before. I've tried to negotiate with it before, and it's just a free fall, right? No matter how much, and sometimes the brain starts to agitate the free fall, and I'm like, I can't figure this out. Oh God, here we go. Ah! So the most effective way that I have found to pause before we go down that slide, right? On that slide, to grip, to pause on that process is to bring it into the body. To listen to the breath, to put my hand on wherever I'm feeling it. Usually it's my stomach, sometimes it's my throat. So I'll put my hands there and I'll just pretend like I'm holding a child and asking it, are you okay? And sometimes that's enough to quiet the experience. So, and fight or flight response. Vek, when you had moments like that, do you have the memories? Do you have the experiences? Do you feel held by the universe? Do you feel that the universe or others respond to you with compassion and love? And do you feel that they, the universe wants to, God or parents want to curl up around you and hold you close when you're feeling like that? Or you feel, I love you too. I wish you'd come out here. No, Fuzzy Zombie, you don't feel like the universe is willing to hold you or that anybody else in the world is willing to hold you like that. I don't either. I didn't either, right? I think a lot of us got that from early experiences. And that's trauma in the root chakra. That's trauma in the sacral chakra. Because the sacral chakra and the root chakra are our center for, am I safe in my body and will I be taken care of? Our first experiences in life decide where our energy balance is here in these first two chakras. These first two chakras they settle into what's familiar, into their habits, into their patterns by the age of 2. These two lower energies, by the age of 2, your body has decided, am I safe in this world? Can I ask for my needs to be met? And will somebody meet me with compassion and empathy? We don't live in a culture that a lot of people get that. But it's an evolutionary imperative. It's an evolutionary imperative. There are certain things that the body expects because we've been human for a lot longer than we've been peopling, right? It's all this peopling that I feel like has really wandered us away from our humanity, from our humanness. Beck Luke, got anxiety from your mother. It was taught for sure. Yeah, I feel ya. Red Mummy Eddie, I feel the same. Seems only I and God can love myself. And Beck Luke, my mom literally telling me I'm always unsafe and always be afraid. My mother literally raised me on, don't tell them what you know. And she taught me energy work, right? She taught me our family lineage of energy work and then told me to seal it shut and said, do not talk about this. They will put you away. They will take you away. I was like, and I'm 7, right? Like when we were having these discussions, she was like, you understand that if you are going to take this on, you cannot tell anybody about it. And that's also why I'm here telling everybody about it. Because for all of these years, I had held it within. I had kept it within. I had very, very, very little expression of it until I got permission from Source. And Source said, go now. And I still have anxiety about it, but I used to lament all the time about how I needed somebody else to help me heal. Because the thought in my head, right, is that if the evolutionary imperative is for my needs to be met, for me to be taken care of in a community setting, in a family setting, because we are pack animals. That's the imperative. That's what evolution demands. That's what creation demands. That's how we survive. That's how we thrive. We survive on our own. We can survive out in the woods by ourselves, but we won't thrive. So if we have not gotten that foundation, are we just gone? Are we fucked? There's no good. There's no chance at healing, at balance, at wholeness. I thought that that was the case for a long time. And I was really upset because I was like, if just somebody else would love me in that way, then I could heal, right? But then I hung my hat of healing on somebody else, on something that was temporal, something that was finite, something I had no control over. But at the same time, it felt really lacking to be the person to give it to myself. The only reason it felt lacking for me, the only reason it felt lacking for so long was because I was not actually loving and valuing all parts of myself. Yes, I loved myself, but I didn't value my energy. I didn't value all parts of myself. I didn't love my ego and other areas, reactions and emotions that I judged as poor. So, of course, I was not experiencing unconditional love because I was still conditionally loving myself. I think the hardest thing to do for me was to take responsibility for that. And the last 2-3 years has been that journey for me of truly taking full responsibility and learning to love every single part of me and learning to value every single part of me. And man, that's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not every day is not a good day. Not every day is a great day, right? Some days I falter. Some days it's a mess. Some days I stay in bed feeling depressed. Some days I have anxiety and can't leave the house. And some days I feel more full of love and joy than I ever have in my life. And most days I feel a sense of trust that I have been searching for as long as I can remember. I am finally feeling good about just hanging out with me. This teaching live and keeping it public and sharing all the stuff so everybody can download it and keep it and take it and comment on it and take it as their own, all that stuff, this is all an experiment to see if I can really show up authentically and be seen in that authenticity. Badass blind woman, what a really interesting reflection. You say, maybe that is why I've lost my sight. I needed to somehow see what I always didn't want to. I will tell you that when I was for those of you who've been here for a while, you know a little bit more detail. I don't like to share a lot of detail about it, but I was in a relationship a couple of years ago. I got married to somebody who, it nearly took my life and took everything else from me. But in the last year of that relationship, I started to need glasses. Now my vision has always tested great. Sometimes I do have some trouble focusing. The optometrist says it's the eye muscles or something. My eye muscles get tired. I don't know. Sometimes I have trouble focusing, so it wasn't a big deal. But in the last year of that relationship, when I was looking back, when I was intentionally pushing away my intuition, I was intentionally ignoring myself to stay in that situation. I knew it wasn't a good situation. It was hurting me. But I was gaslighting myself. I thought this was the right thing, right? Well, as we do. Anyway, regardless, point being, I needed glasses. I was wearing glasses full time by that last year because I couldn't see without them. When I left, it took another year or so of intense, focused healing. And I can't wear my glasses anymore. Occasionally you will see me wear them. Occasionally I'll put them on and you can tell that that's a day where my eyes have either gotten lazy or I'm ignoring something. So I don't know if you're really that far off, my friend, right? Red Mommy Eddie, that resonates. I need to be alone as I got judgment as a kid for what I like to do. And I don't like to show my family the silly things I like to do. That's why I need solo time lately. And I feel I need to stop hiding. This literally is why I'm on social media platforms, why I'm doing the lives. I was vilified for my truth. I was condemned for the things that I knew or the things that I understood. I was told very directly to shut the hell up about it and to never tell anybody about energy and energy channels and energy work, and that it was stuff that I would get me locked up and put away in some really scary places. I was not allowed to be silly or too loud, not too laughing too loud, not crying too loud, not yell too loud. Only the adults were allowed to yell in my house. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be president as well. I wanted to be a singer and a writer. So, of course, I was playful and silly and loud. And I was always in trouble for it. And it created major imbalances in my throat chakra and in my sacral chakra. And, yeah, in my energy body. And it created reactionary patterns that further pushed me in the direction that they were already sending me. This was the kicker for me, is to look back at all of this and recognize that after those initial events happened, after those initial experiences that taught my energy to behave in a certain way, then my energy keeps behaving in that way, even though they're not there telling me to stop, telling me to cut it out, telling me I'm silly and stupid, but they're still here. And they're still here, and they're still here, and they're still here. So when they're, but here's the beautiful thing. Here's the best part. Here's the best part. Sorry, I'm not scrolling because I don't see comments. I'm just stopping here so I can talk. We can talk about this, because the best part about it, when someone outside of me attacks me, puts me down, does awful, scary, whatever, painful things to me, I don't have a lot of control, right? I can't control other people to a degree. But after that experience occurs and it takes up residence in me, well, now you're in my house. Now you're in my space. And I am the one in charge here, right? But do we get our sensitive, silly kid voices to show up and be silly by being mean to them and demanding that they come out and do their stuff? No. We do so by creating space for them, by giving them permission little bit by little bit, like a little shy 5-year-old, like slowly warming up to the area, to the place, to the people. Give yourself grace. If nothing else, at least be curious and willing. Because your past lives in you. You don't have to go to the past. You don't have to go drag up memories. It lives in you. It breathes through you. It speaks through you. When you allow it to not let you be silly. When you allow it to yell at you in your head or at somebody else for being silly. It's still well alive in you. But that's great, because now you have access to it. Vec Luke, you too are on that journey too, of doing awesome things, and you're being celebrated for them. I love you so much. Badass blind woman, you wanted to be Whitney Houston? Nice. I wanted to be a tall, dark-skinned woman with an afro. I wanted big, beautiful hair. I wanted the dark chocolate skin. I wanted long limbs, and I saw that as a very powerful standing in your truth image. And I really looked up to such women. So that's what I wanted to be. I remember my mother laughing and saying, "You can be anything you want, honey." Vec Luke, holy moly, what you just said made my throat chakra react. So think about this. This is another thing too. Tension in your system is your check engine light, is an alert that your system is out of balance, right? So when you, like, just reading your quote, I'm going to read it out loud carefully so I don't trigger myself further. Your quote, emulating those parents, emulating those caregivers who shut you down, right, is quit crying or I will give you something to cry about. That one was a staple in my house. When I hear that, when I read that, my throat chakra went, eh. So what do? Do I just go, oh, weird, ah, right? I can be like, ah, about it, and I can let the throat chakra respond. I can let the body feel tense. I could even curl my shoulders up a little bit to try to protect my energy like I'm used to doing. Or I can take this moment of tension as an opportunity to meet, because who was that? Is that me now? No. Somebody said that to me, I'd say an entirely different thing. This is the little kid me that heard those things for real. This is where the trauma still lives in me for however many years ago. So I have a mudra for this one. So I'm going to use the Vishuddha mudra, the throat chakra mudra. You guys want to do it with me? Especially for all of you who heard that statement. For all of you who heard that statement, bring your fingers back to back together, interlace at the tips, close them up, keeping space in your palms here, and then create interlocking circles with the index and the thumb. You want to see that one more time? Back of the hands, interlace the tips of the fingers together, curl the palms together in, keep the space there, and then make those interlocking circles on this side. Bring it up to your throat chakra, and we're going to take several deep breaths, focusing on the breath going into and through the throat chakra. Imagine it creating a blue light. Make that a rich blue light emanating from the throat. I want you to just take a few minutes if you'd like to join me, if you'd like to bring balance to past trauma in regard to this particular statement. We are working with this particular statement. Quit crying or I'll give you something to cry about. If that triggers your throat, grab your throat chakra mudra and hold at the throat. Close your eyes and just breathe. Notice the sensation of the breath as it moves through your throat. Watch that blue glow begin to grow through and around your throat. If you do not visualize very well or at all, then just focus on the sensations. You can even say to yourself, my throat is full of this healing, soothing, blue light. You don't have to see things for them to be real, for them to be effective. As you breathe, drop your tongue from the top of your mouth into the bottom jaw. You don't have to create a funny face. Just gently bring it from the top of your mouth and drop it in the bottom jaw. Notice how much space that creates in your mouth and in your throat. Focus on the space that it creates. Belches and yawns and things like that are normal, especially when you're dealing with the throat. Let that blue light expand and fill up your entire neck, shoulders, jaw, mouth, even your nose. Let it expand all around the throat chakra. Breathe. Once you've got that light nice and big around the throat, I invite you to bring your attention back into the center of the throat. Wherever you felt that pang, wherever you felt that tension from this statement, from that statement. Give it all of your attention, all of your focus, like you are laser focused, like your focus itself, like your attention is a laser beam. Focus all of your laser attention into that point where you felt the tension from that statement. Breathe there. Hold that laser focus as long as you can. We're going to sit for a couple of minutes with the mudra. Hold that laser focus and then let everything else go. In this way, we make space for the body to come and speak to us, for the throat chakra to say what it needs, or to just release the tension. Laser focus in the throat, wherever you felt that tension. And let everything else fall away. No distractions, no thoughts. And if they come up, just come back Laser focus to the throat. I hope you guys can hear that crow. As you sit with this practice, allow the shoulder blades to relax, melting down your back. Relax the collarbone. Relax the jaw. Keep that tongue down on the bottom of the mouth. You can stay with this practice as long as you need. I encourage you to sit here until you really do feel something move in your throat, feel movement in your throat. But don't sit to such degree that you cause frustration. When you are ready to complete your practice, I always encourage you to bring your hands together into prayer or lay them over your heart in gratitude. And then before you open your eyes, rub your palms together, warming them up, and placing them over your eyes, cupping them over your eyes so you can slowly flutter them open behind your hands. Juliana, Erica Badu, yeah. You guys. Regal Poison, it's moments like this that this together makes these lives so valuable in my life. Thank you all. Thank you all. Right? Otherwise I'd be sitting here by myself in the room by myself doing them. Ooh, L. My right lung started having a rolling tingly feeling during the mudra. Ah, plantastic. So I've noticed the link, you said the link tree in my bio doesn't seem to work. The reason my bio on TikTok is not clickable is because I'm not a business account. When I was a business account on TikTok, I had a million more violations for false advertising every time I went live. I don't even know. So I had to stop. I had to take down the business account. And that way it's not clickable. but I am Move with Change, just MOVEWITHCHANGE on everywhere. Linktree, Patreon, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Kick, Twitch, Clapper, favorited, Blue Sky. What else is there? X, Facebook. I'm on all the places too. But um, but there's the link for Discord on Linktree. I know that when you try to click it on the mobile version of Linktree, it doesn't work. I've noticed, and I think that's something about opening another app. If you do it on a desktop, on a laptop computer, or if you just go to the desktop website option when you're on Linktree, then it'll give you the whole website looking thing, and you zoom in and you should be able to click it and it will bring you to Discord. Yours is the same everywhere too. Okay, cool. Ooh, I'm gonna sing well today. Beck Luke, heck yeah. So, Great Cole, I don't know if you're in here, right? Wasn't it you earlier, Great Cole, who asked, how do I know if it's working? Right? And I mentioned how there's thousands of years of, not thousands, but hundreds and hundreds of years of research and use of energy and energy channels all over the world, right? And have been around for a long time. So, there are mudras that we use. For example, the Mahasirs Mudra, right? That one's for headaches and any tension in the head anywhere. Or the Shinya Mudra. There it is. Or the Shinya Mudra, which is for the frontal, which is for the frontal sinuses. So those two mudras are one of the most, like, if you've got sinus pressure and you curl those last two fingers in and bring the three together like this and hold for 5 minutes, you are very likely to feel that movement happen. When you feel those little, this is why I suggest you sit with your mudras long enough that you can feel something occur. Whatever sensation it is, when you give yourself time to sit with that, you re-inform your body and your mind in particular, your mind. The mind is self-confirming. So when we show it evidence of how these mudras are moving energy within us, and they do create physical sensations that we can experience, or mental sensations, or sensations in the breath. This is why we cultivate our awareness, why we bring it completely into the present moment when we're doing our practices, so that we can notice how these mudras, how effective they are, what it feels like when they are being effective. This informs the brain that, look, they do something. And when the brain recognizes that they do something, the brain is going to start wondering what and how and why. So let it. Let it. Let it become enlightened through experience, which is why we're here. Crow. Crow is about speaking our truth. Crow is also the keeper of ethereal law. Crow is the one for, like, how important it is to be true in your speak and be honorable and responsible in your speak. It is, and there it goes again. It is the strength to say what's right, even if it's not popular, right? And being able to speak from wisdom and understanding. Do you hear him call in the background? Okay, the reason I'm talking about him too is because there's one more piece to it. Because Crow also is one of the ways, Great Cole, have a great day. Crow is one of the ways that I have opened my throat chakra. I posted a little video yesterday or something, and for a second in the video I did crow sounds, right? That was one of those things. Have you ever caught yourself? Try. I dare you. I dare you to make some crow sounds right now. I don't care where you are. Open up your mouth and try to make crow sounds. It's really unnerving, especially if like you're in a public place. It's one of those things you got to make a face to like make the sound right, and when you don't get it right, it sounds really weird. Doing practices like that help bring out that silly, playful voice and allow you to experiment like children did. What did children do with their voice? They do whatever the heck they want with their voice, right? Crow helps us cultivate that too. Helps us do that again. Hi.
I'm just waiting for my class.
We have an agreement about boundaries. Son. No. Thank you. I love calling with crows. Nice. I've always been drawn to crows and ravens, never known why. There's a slight difference between crow and raven as far as like medicine goes. You know, raven is a little bit more about magic and universal magic, whereas crow is more about regulatory, like law and order kind of thing. But within magic, there is an order. There is a law within the magic, right? The story that I hold in my heart about crow is that crows like shiny things, right? Crow was so obsessed with her reflection that upon gazing upon it, she pecked at it and scratched at it and pecked at it and harassed it until it came to life and ate Crow. And now the crow that we see is actually dead crow, or the shadow of crow. And crow is one of the not one of the only, but one of the few energies that is able to shift between the dimensions, shift between worlds, and to travel between them freely. Raven on your land, and they're protectors. They protect the chickens. Nice. Nice. I like crows often. We exchange baubles. I feed my crows as often as I can, and sometimes they bring me presents, which I think is really exciting and fun. Crow speaks to the paradoxes within truth as well. Whereas, you know, some truth bringers might be more direct or more clear or more like, you know, hawk as a messenger will bring truth, bring insight, and bring wisdom so that we can understand better and help us see those. But it's very like pointed, right? Like a crow, like, or not crow, like a, that's the kind of truth that hawk talks about. Crow talks about the fact that there are multifaceted truths, and that my truth may be completely opposite of your truth, but equally as valid as your truth. So practice your crow call. Ah, ah. I just made my cat look at me funny. Yeah, crow calls. General animal sounds. If you really want to play with your voice and want to open your voice up and let that inner child out, I encourage you to make animal sounds. Some of my favorite are crow, because it makes a funny face and it's kind of hard to find in your throat. You got to find it like down here, right? I really love elephant sounds, actually, because all of this is shenanigans. All of this is in the spirit of balancing and healing your throat chakra. Isn't that amazing? Of meeting your inner child, of giving your inner child space to play, of healing old traumas and things like that, of balancing energy in your system by allowing some playfulness and silliness to come through. That's fucking great. So let's do animal sounds. Elephant's one of my favorite because it is really loud. And especially when done in a public place, makes everyone turn and look at you like, what the fuck are you doing? And I also use my arm when I do it, because elephants have trunks. So to do an elephant sound, if you are not aware, hi Rachel, you joined just in time. We're balancing our throat chakra, opening our throat chakra, healing our throat chakra through animal sounds. We were just practicing our crow call. Ah! Nope. See? Ah! Ah! Nope. Dang it. Now I'm laughing too much. I was already shifting to elephant. Okay. The challenge here is for no matter where you are right now in the world, that you also attempt to make audible animal sounds with me. Okay? We're working through that whole you gotta be quiet, shut up, you're not allowed to be silly kind of stuff. Elephant sounds. Elephant sounds, I like to use my arm like so to do my trunk here, and my mouth like this to blow between my lips. Can you do that? Just gently, 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 gently put your lips together, curl them over your teeth, and squeak out the air. Okay, you ready? Regal poison. All my brain keeps saying is Old MacDonald had a farm in here. Pirates. That's my favorite to do in public because it's really disruptive. And not in a bad way, in a way that people are like, did you just poke the Matrix? Your dad always could get it, but you could never do it. Just try it. Roll. Let me see. See, now I wish we were like in Discord together so we could all be making elephant sounds. Elephant and crow are some of my favorites. Ooh, owl is also a really good one because owl, I learned owl when I was living in New York, and there were barred owls all over the woods. And they made sounds. I thought they were monkeys. And I swear to God, they sounded like monkeys. They do this like through woods. But listening to them in the middle of the night, you'd also hear them. What do they do? No. Ah. I haven't done it in a while. You're just thinking about owls? Do you call the owls too, Leb? Not just crows? There's 3 species around you. It was the barred owls I found that were making those particular. What other animals? What are the ones you got? What was your favorite animal sound to make when you were a kid? Your kitty caught a big quail yesterday? Are you guys meat eaters? Because that could be tasty. Wait a minute. Your kitty. That means Henry, right? That's his name, right? Right? Horse, of course. You know what? A horse is one of the ones that I really struggle to do. So this is going to be a lot of fun because it's totally nerve-wracking. Like, that triggers the inner child who's like, no, it's okay. I don't do horse sounds. No, I can't do that. Because I don't think I do a very good horse at all. I know you do, my friend. I mean, I can do a, you know. This is a perfect experience, right? This is a perfect example of this because my attempt to make a horse sound is thwarted before my mouth can even try. Before my mouth even tries, my brain and my body triggers, pulls me back, pulls my physical body back, makes me laugh. It's like, no, you can't make horse sounds if you're fucking laughing. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of like, oh, no, I don't want to do it. But we know that we're safe, right? So I can inform this younger me. We are in a relatively safe space, and we've been doing this authenticity experiment for long enough that we feel safe enough doing ridiculous things on a live, and don't worry about it. I would love some horse sound training. Making sounds, and the rooster joins in. Did a rooster join in? That's not my best rooster. Horse. See? Oh my God. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can let myself do a horse sound. I'm gonna have to close my eyes. I can't get it out. Let's see. Let's see if we can try a horse sound with the throat chakra mudra. I am so tickled by this right now because it's not, right? Laughter and play and silliness. This is allowing the tension that I'm feeling to be released. Each time it comes up, we're releasing the tension again. And then it comes up again because we're trying to move through, and I'm trying to make a horse sound without tension happening. But it's really difficult because all these parts of my energy are doing what? Restricting, constricting, like pulling, holding, don't. But it is. You were talking before, Vec Luke, about good and bad anxiety. Is it bad anxiety? No. Do I feel actually scared? No. Is there some horrible thing that's going to happen if I make a horse sound? No. Is there a horrible thing that's going to happen if I make a terrible horse sound? No, probably not. But so part of my pirate did answer to that one and go, yeah, there definitely is. There's going to be a horrible, horrible consequence to making a horrible horse sound. So someone in there thinks that if we fuck this up, something terrible is going to happen. So now I've got to inform them. Okay? The world will not end if you make a horrible horse sound. Regal Poison, my friend had a beagle that would howl with us. It was so much fun. I love those. I love dogs that do that. I am legit not trying to drag this out, but seriously, every time I go to just make a horse sound, nay. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. That is the most. I need some horse training. It's like singing. I got good at it. Good at singing only when I could let go. Yes, absolutely. Because expressing our energy is about trust. Our throat chakra is about trust. It's about honesty. It's about authenticity. I'll hit a bad note if I remember having hit a bad note. Mm-hmm. That's why I love karaoke. Because I go to karaoke. I've been going to karaoke for years and years. I haven't gone recently. But going to karaoke has allowed me to sit within that tension and to still find my voice. For those of you who don't karaoke because you're afraid, I encourage you to do it because you're afraid. Because every moment of tension is an opportunity to release that tension, to open it back up again. You know what's really fun? Is right now, currently, after getting all that work up that I just did with trying to make a horse sound, and then I made a half-ass neigh just now. As soon as I did that, I stopped, right? That was it. I gave my permission. That's it. I did it. That's the best I could do. I left it at that. As soon as I gave that permission, as soon as I shifted that in my head, do you know what's happening right now? Adrenaline. I can feel shivering in my jaw. I can feel shivering in my hands. I don't know if you can see it. I can feel it in my neck. I can feel it in my legs. My body is releasing the tension created by all of that tension. Do you know that wild animals, when they get chased in the woods, or wherever they are, they don't have to be in the woods, when they get chased, they allow their bodies to shake off the debris, the very real debris that is created when we are tense. So I give my body a few moments to do that. What we just did there seemed so silly, seemed so playful, seemed so benign, right? How benign that we're laughing about making animal sounds and one of us is struggling to make some animal sounds, right? seemed pretty run of the mill. But with attention and intention, it turned into a healing. Isn't that amazing? If you're looking for shaking somatic exercises, I mean, I really would just say, literally, just like shake it out. Like, okay. This is why I love the pirates. This is why I keep them here. This is why I encourage the pirates. So keep encouraging the pirates, because my pirates just remembered a unintentional shaking exercise that you could absolutely use as a shaking exercise. Juliana, yeah, I've heard the vibration plates are really, really cool. But my pirates just remembered, you guys know the actual whole song of like, what was it? Is it, yeah, no, is it not? It's not Baby Shark. What the hell is it? It's like Baby Shark. It's the Baby Shark thing, but it's like, it's an old camp thing. It's an old camp game we all did. You go swimming with a shark, right? Went swimming do 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 do. Went swimming do 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 do. Went swimming do 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 do. Went swimming. Saw a shark do do something like that. Do 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 do. Saw a shark do 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 do. Saw a shark, right? Okay. What do you do then? The shark bites your arm, right? So you start shaking the arm. And then it bites your leg or your other arm, so you start shaking your other arm. And then it bites your leg, so you start shaking your leg and the other two arms, and then you base the other one, and so you're shaking everything all around. Now I'm dead, do 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 do. Now I'm dead, do 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 do. Oh yeah, Juliana, Taylor Swift, Shake It Off, Shake It Off, great one. Another good one is Shake It Off by Florence and the Machine. That's another one that I really, really like to dance to release energy. The simplest, most playful practices are oftentimes so stinking profound. Which reminds me that the universe has a sense of humor. In fact, I think the universe thinks all of this is divinely hilarious. And I would like to tap into that divine hilarity. Hi, Star Muse. How are you? I wanted to ask you some questions. The other day, I was thinking about you, and so I need to thank you for coming in, because I need to remember to text you. I had some astrology questions with some. My shift of Pluto into Aquarius has been quite interesting, and so I'd be curious to ask you some questions. It's good to see you too. I hope you're well. Them guys be laughing. Everyone be like, I don't like. I don't have to say it. You guys know it. You guys know that feeling when laughter and tears all mix together and the body is just convulsing with joy. But it's not just joy. It's something else. I don't know how to describe that. I know you guys have been there before. I know you've had those moments of ecstasy. Right? In the deepest parts of meditation, when I sink into those places, I swear I hear the universe laughing. I swear I hear the background. I think the background of the entire universe is God laughing. Because laughter is what? It's expansive. It's clearing. It's opening. right, my friends. I want to give everybody a heads up. We don't have to leave right now. We don't have to close the session right now, but I want to remind everybody that I am taking next month off. This is me taking next month off. I'm going to keep doing Friday classes. Live restricted. Regulated goods and content. Live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason, regulated goods and content. Has anybody seen any regulated goods or content? And all it does is this. They say, share your feedback to make community better. My live does not contain the content mentioned in the notice. Bam. Submit. Reason, discussing drugs or other regulated substances. That's 2 restrictions on my live just now. Talking about laughter. Meditation. Oh, because I said good medicine? Really? Here, my friends, is the cheat code that they don't want you to have. It doesn't like the peace talk. No. No. About God being in all places and laughter. And laughter is the best medicine. Apparently that means restricted good. Hey, do you guys want to share the live again? That's okay. We're closing out anyway. So, I said we don't have to close the live, though. Next month, I am going to just do the Friday tiny yoga classes. And this goes for you over there on TikTok too, or on YouTube too. Just the Friday tiny yoga classes. And I am going to keep them relatively short, within an hour. I know it's really hard for me to do an hour, just an hour. But all through the December, we will just have the tiny yoga class. That starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you want to get notifications for this class, I think you can put your alerts on, but I have been told that people get unfriended and don't get notifications for my lives, and because TikTok is doing all the things that it does. So if you want to get notifications, please go join the Discord. Please make sure you're in the Discord. If you need the link, send me a message and I can just send you the link right away. Otherwise, you can find it on patreon.com/movethechange. You can also find it on Linktree at Move the Change. Am I selling laughter in bottles? Right? Maybe I should become a business account and put bottles on TikTok of laughter, right? We'll just sell laughter. No, then they'll get me for false advertising. Then they'll get me for marketing, false marketing or something. That's what happened when I was on the live, when I was a business account before. So, Fridays, 10 a.m. Pacific time, I will be here. Okay, and we will probably go from 10 to 11. I'm going to really try to keep it in there because the other time that I'm not on live, I'm going to be using to build this whole next year, where we're going to explore every layer of the energy body. That said, I will be going live in the Discord from 10 to 11 or so, maybe 10 to 10:30. We'll see. Monday through Thursday in the Discord space. I'm hearing some feedback that some folks may want me to use Zoom, and people sound okay with using Zoom. That way I can post a link on the Patreon page so that anybody can join us for those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's just going to be meditation. I'm still going to post a mudra on Sundays, if I can get my shit together and post it every Sunday. And then we will practice that mudra Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 a.m. in Zoom through Discord. The link will be there. And I might put it on, I'll put it on patreon.com for you too. And then Friday morning, tiny yoga, 10 a.m. Pacific time for, again, just about an hour. Beyond that, I may come on and do lives. There's a book I've been wanting to read for a while, just to do a different kind of live and hopefully get some momentum going again on TikTok. Remember that there are always replays on Move with Change on YouTube. Move with Change on YouTube. So if you really want class, if you really want some shenanigans, if you really want some Dharma talk and stuff like that, you can go watch one of those replays. What else? So what are we doing next year? For those of you who have not heard yet, who are already enjoying this content. Daddy Cat, what are you doing? Sorry.
I watched the shows and played the cards.
My daddy cat and his son are doing their thing. Okay. So what are we doing next year? 3 easy payments of $7.99. No. Remember? Yeah, we sell 2. Yeah, okay. All right, never mind. Shh. Pirates. If I start talking about it more, they'll probably flag me again. Okay, what are we doing next year? Focus, pirates. What are we doing? We're going to do something super radical. We're going to change the world. Our own individual world. And by proxy, the rest of the world. Starting in January, we're going to explore every single layer of the energy body. In January, we'll start with the aura. So all of this out here. Yes, we will learn energy viewing. We will practice energy viewing. I will offer mudras, mantras, asanas, herbs, foods, all sorts of different things, tools to align, balance, and clear your aura, even protect your aura, stuff like that, right? We'll talk about all of that in January. We will also talk about mind mapping. And I know this is not the energy body, but the way you perceive your world, all of these things affect and are influenced by, are intertwined with your energy body. So I think it's really important for us to not just talk about the energy itself here, our experience of it, but also one of the main factors that affects the movement and balance of our energy body is the way that our brain works. We're going to do that in January. February, we're going to go into the body and we're going to talk about the energy channels and the elements in the body and the way that energy moves around in the body. The nadis, the sushumna, the minor channels, all that stuff. January, February, March. In March, we will talk about the earth chakras, the feet chakras, knees, legs, that kind of stuff. In April, with Aries, we will start with the root chakra and we will work our way up the rest of the year. I do believe that leaves us with December. November is the crown chakra, and I think that leaves December is something else. And I know that I put a note in my planner for something really awesome and amazing. To go along with this class, okay. I've got a very excited pirate in there that's like screaming about all these details. And so I got to quiet her down so that we can sort the details out so that I can relay them to you. Okay. Every month I will offer all the tools in my toolbox for that specific topic. So when we're talking about the heart, you will get all of the tools that I have for addressing and dealing with the heart. We will also talk about all the effects of imbalances in the heart. We'll talk about the front of the heart and the back of the heart. We'll talk about the way the other energies move and interact with the heart, right? So each month will be very focused on all the tools, all the things for that thing. Why am I doing this way? Why are we doing this way? Because... Okay, thank you, hon. You are the only person who can access the deepest layers of yourself. And most of us have spent many years trying to peel away and heal the outer layers of ourselves, trying to address the obvious things right in front of us. unfortunately, a lot of times that's like just treating a symptom, because the root cause is almost always deeper in our bodies, right? The body remembers, somatic memory. Remember, most of our energy signatures were decided when we were much younger, when our brain was not even fully online yet. And some of them, the foundational ones, when we were unconscious still. My little Virgo heart would love to go around and be able to change, address, heal, treat every single person. Elle, I love you too. I wish I could heal the world, every single person, right? Obviously, that's kind of not attainable, right? Unattainable for a single person to affect every single person in the world in a positive way. I do believe that if I give you the tools to understand how to find the root, how to address the symptoms without having to go and pay for them. See, that's hilarious. It's like talking about regulated goods and things and selling things. It's like, I'm not. This is free. This is free. Because that's how powerful it is. I am so confident that these tools will bring you enlightenment to your system, will bring healing and wellness to your system to whatever the degree you choose to use them. I don't need to charge you for that. That's up to you. And honestly, all of these tools that I'm going to offer are things that you can go Google, look in books, you can take classes, you can go get them yourself. And I spent years and thousands of dollars collecting them. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Hey, Redundant Thor, how are you? Knowledge is power, and when many of us feel powerless, I hope that we can cultivate a sense of personal power together. It's what I've been able to cultivate in the last couple of years. For the first time in my life, actually applying the tools. Because here's the thing, right? I studied them. I got the info. I went to college. I got the certifications. I got all the things. But information is just information until you distill it into understanding, until you put it into practice, until you bring it into your real world experience. It's just words. So next year, I'm going to give you, we're going to open my toolbox. We're going to open it and we're going to explore every single layer of it. In December, I am going to create, I decided instead of creating a bound workbook that you guys would have to purchase for like probably 30, 40 bucks, because it's not cheap, right, to publish something like that. And it would be really big because it's a year's worth, right? I guess I could break it up at stop. Because we decided to do this in a very easy, simple, accessible way. I am going to create journal pages, and I will post them on patreon.com/movewithchange so that you guys can purchase them there. They will be a download. It's probably going to be like $5. Again, you don't even have to purchase these. I'll show you when I'm on the lives the things. You don't have to buy a single thing. Everyone deserves the knowledge of how their system functions. Everyone deserves to know how to treat, align, and heal themselves without having to break the cash cow for it. Thank you, Badass Blind Woman. And to all of you who pay it forward that way, all of you who interact with the content. The more we interact with the content here, the more TikTok is the idea that I am not violating community guidelines and you guys want to see the stuff. The problem is, we have qualified. I qualify for the Creator Fund program, except that I don't have enough views on my content. Well, guess what? All the violations that they're giving me prevent views on content. So the more you guys can share and the more you guys can interact and the more you guys can make those longer comments on it, thanking me for it or saying it's educational content or saying how useful it is kind of stuff, the more we're going to inform TikTok that this is actually what they want. And honestly, I think that's the best way to combat if somebody is trolling my account. If somebody is really attacking my account so fiercely, then let's just love them back, right? Just as fiercely. Nice, Star Muse. I'll have to give you a call. I don't know. I might actually be able to give you a call this afternoon. Awesome, Star Muse. Anybody who has any suggestions too, and I'm not gonna do like I don't do fake follow trains. I don't want to do like gotcha stuff. I don't want to bait people. I want to keep offering genuine, just content, helpful, educational stuff. So if anybody has some pointers, if anybody has any suggestions, I'd love to explore those options too. But remember, again, join me in the Discord space. They can't take down my Discord. Well, maybe can, I don't know. But they're social media. If social media keeps doing what it's doing and getting worse and worse and worse like that, then Discord is going to be one of the only places, right, that will be able to do classes and I'll be able to share the tools. So get into the Discord. That also, just as a side note, if anybody is in the coding world, tech world, and anybody who knows how to build an app, specifically anybody who knows how to build, not an app, anybody who knows how to build a video game. If somebody would like to work with me, I have a really spectacular idea for creating a game, an RPG game that works with and supports you in your mindfulness journey. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's really, really, really cool and I have to get it all down on paper so I can patent the idea. And then once we do that, we can actually have our own platform, its own space where then we're not dealing with this other stuff. And no, I won't be bought out, so it'll always be free. Ooh, Star Muse, that's really interesting. Hitting the like button stops the time viewed. Working, what would you say there? Working from the bottom up. I also heard that when you hit the share button and then hit copy link instead of something else, copy link apparently also really boosts it. I don't know. But again, I don't really think that it's the TikTok algorithm itself at this point because the change is very recent. And it's completely like the other video that said I was using substances or something like that. It's completely wrong. There is no way that even AI could look at that and be like, oh, right? Right, Thor? I don't pretend to know, yeah. Yeah, Star Muse, being a better follower is the best for both you and the creator. Yes. Yes. Also, too, remember that when you guys, the reason I love TikTok so much, if you folks over there are not on TikTok yet, I know that we're talking about the issues that we're having with TikTok, but also TikTok has a really, really, really big feature that I use as often as I can. And that's the feature that if you create a video and tag me in the video, and ask me for a mudra dudra, a mudra or a mantra or an asana or a tool or an herbal remedy or a nutrition thing or whatever it is, if you make a video and tag me, I get to make more content and answer your question directly. I can stitch that video, which also supports your views and things like that. We can collaborate in that way, and I can actually share content that will always be downloadable, so you guys can take it and keep it as your own. If you comment on my content and ask me questions, I can make video replies to you and give you the answers to your thing, right? Give you the tools that you're asking for. Again, all of these things boost the way that I can create content, the information gets shared, as well as hopefully helping me count, right? Red Mama Yeti, I've seen some creators using. Wonder why that doesn't get tagged. That's what I'm saying, is that I've seen, and me getting flagged for nudity, right? Where, or sex and nudity, and then I see other videos where I'm like, that person is way less clothed than me and way more suggestive, and you're telling me that that's, and it was on my FYP, right? Yeah, Thor. I do find that not having reliable internet is a really big issue with going live. It makes it damn near impossible to do a live, cohesive live. Starmuse says, comment 5 to 8 words about content, emoji at the end of comment. Ooh, wow. That's real specific. Maybe we'll do an experiment. Maybe in December, I'll like put out an instruction video, right? And then every day I'll post a video where you guys all respond with these, like do these specific steps, and we'll see if we can get a huge shift, right? If we can get us out of shadow ban, out of jail. Honey love. I've had people run their mouths while girls in their bathing suits show more. Yeah. Again, I don't think it's the AI. I don't think it's the algorithm. I actually think I'm getting trolled. I think somebody has so much time on their hands that they would rather harass my account and not even directly interact with me, because I don't even know who it is. Like if you're there, if my troll is watching right now, I don't even know who you are. That's important. How important you are to my reality. The efficacy of trolling me is really just hilarious, but it's allowing me, it's an opportunity for me to learn how to better use this platform and for me to engage further with my following. So thank you so much. You know what causes those and how to spot a bot. I do my best just not to respond to things that don't sound like they are individuals who are actually in here on purpose. And I have been trying to be mindful about not talking about certain things or saying certain things in certain ways. I don't like, because of the whole throat chakra stuff we were talking about, I am really not inclined to beat around the bush and try to change my wording. You guys see how well that goes. I'd rather just speak plainly. And if that means that they're going to take me off the FYP because I say laughter is medicine, or if it's a bot who's there who then flags me for it, again, that's okay. We just get to learn how to use the platform better, right? And I won't. I'm sure that if I did TikTok battles, that my account would go up. I'm sure that I would have fewer violations if I was making TikTok more money. You have low likes and low views. That doesn't make sense. What do you mean? You have low likes and views on what? I thought, honey love, I thought you were saying that other people are showing more skin than you, and so you have low views when you're showing less skin. Red Mama Yeti, what's the point of battles? It's literally just to earn. I mean, people are earning money. Some decent percent of money for some people with the battles. What happens in the battles is really just teams. So if I was a creator and I got on with another person in a battle, it could be total strangers. And you guys as the people in my live would send gifts to me or press likes, and the more I get, there's a little bar at the top which just like basically that's the only way you win is by getting gifts. So the only goal in a battle is to make TikTok more money, because TikTok takes up to 60% of what you make on here. So while these creators may be getting maybe 10, 20, 50 bucks, maybe 100 or more. If they're really, really big creators doing this a lot, you could definitely get more than that. But guess how much they're also making TikTok? 60% on top of that, right? And that's why I'm so unique on here. And that's why the platform doesn't share me. That's why the platform doesn't push me out, is because I'm not doing the thing it wants us to do, which is to make it money. And it keeps prompting me to do so. Honey love, I'm still waiting for your answer there. I don't know if you...
Hey, Mama.
And that's why she's real, friends. Thanks, Badass Blind Woman. What's up, baby cakes?
Could I do another class on there? Like a...
Nope, we're about to have lunch together. Give me a few minutes to close up. Can you decide? Would you like to decide on lunch for us?
We were gonna have baked apples for breakfast.
Poop. I didn't make baked apples. Okay. Do you want baked apples and oatmeal like I was gonna make tomorrow? Or do you want it for lunch?
I want those tomorrow.
Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll bake some. How about some mac and cheese? Do you just want something fun, simple for lunch?
Yeah, how about just some mac and cheese?
Can you make some great mac and cheese like you always do?
Then something simple.
It is simple.
I don't quite have to cook that much.
Okay, you don't have to start anything cooking. I'm just asking you to kind of get stuff ready, and we will cook together, okay?
Okay.
All right, I love you.
Love you too. How about one more thing?
Red Yeti, I just can't spend money to give you fake roses. I'd rather send you something real. Yes, 1,000%. And that's why I tell you guys, don't worry about that. I'm not going to ever encourage you guys to throw fake roses and emojis and shit at me in hopes that TikTok will share me more. We're not going to play that game. Cash is not king in here. Honey Love, you say they just don't care. I make them for sure to keep my vibe up just because I enjoy making them. Oh, that's okay, Honey Love. We're just talking about how, TikTok it doesn't seem to, like, there's a ramping up in violation, right? There's a ramping up in violations, at least I have seen, and I know that there are other creators who have seen it, and where kind of people are on the fence about if it's trolls or if it's the TikTok algorithm itself, but I know that for sure support is not responding any differently. Support told me today, and I'll make a video of it, that they flat out are not going to respond to me anymore. To which, of course, I said, you haven't responded to me at all. You've just told me to go read community guidelines. And I said, I have, and my lives and my content don't violate it. So you're talking about censorship and discrimination. And I think that's why they said they won't talk to me anymore.
I said one last thing.
And I have asked you for this to respect this boundary. Thank you. Yes, Honey Love, it's to control the authentic side of self. I would step back from a sense of control and more, because the truth is that when we are authentic, when we stand in our truth, and when we cultivate a sense of personal power, people can see it. And that is really uncomfortable for a lot of people. Same. I've reported hate speech and threats, and they always come back as no violation. I have reported spam. I have reported regulated good. I have reported some things too, or like dangerous, right? Yeah. But they often come back as no violation. So that's further, like, they're not saying violations on certain things that are clearly that, but those of us that are not doing those things are getting the violations. Why is that? So let's look at, like, that fills social media with exaggerated content, with dangerous content, with addictive content. That's probably going to get me flagged too. I'm talking about your content, TikTok, not mine. With suggestive content, with divisive content, with sensationalized content. That's what social media thrives on. Social media thrives not on allowing you to heal, not on giving you the tools, right? And for that reason, I'm okay with not being the most popular channel. I don't need to be the most popular channel. I trust the universe. I trust that just being here, because this is the message that I got in the last couple of years. When I started doing this live, it was really just show up. Just, you have to start showing up. You have to start showing up in some way that you can show up. And it was beyond showing up for me, because that's what I was cultivating in the last couple of years. Showing up for me. But along with showing it for me was this huge push. If you're really going to be authentic, then you have to do it publicly. What's being authentic by myself, right? Hiding out in the woods, not being, being authentic and nobody knows. I mean, that's a beautiful thing by itself. And then maybe that's an authenticity experience too. But those of you who know me know that there's a whole lot more to the reason why I'm here. And the whole lot more to the reason why I'm doing this experiment. And a whole lot more to the reason why I am sharing these tools and the reason why I do it for free. Yeah, I tried last year to charge for classes and to try different models, and it all felt disingenuous. Badass Blind Woman, you probably have the most real followers too. I do. That's why I love you guys so much. Honey Love, I don't know what I can say on here. I don't know if they're going to flag me for that too. I've been gang stalked on this media and in life. Same for me. Either it's for me, but hoping it helps. Mystic, I am hanging out in the woods by myself. I had to come out and hang out in the woods by myself to find my authentic self. But once finding her, she's so fucking cool. I can believe, and I can forgive that I have held her hostage. That's true. That's held her hidden. No, held her hostage for so long. There's just a moment of deep gratitude. There aren't really words for that, and that is extended toward all of you sitting in these rooms right now with me, and those of you who aren't sitting in the room right now with me. But the fact that I have been so supported, encouraged, the way you guys reflect me back to me is so healing and so I was so afraid. And I let that fear drive for so fucking long. Y'all think you guys are getting the healing. You guys are getting the cool tools. You guys are getting the stuff. But I feel like I'm getting it. I feel like I'm the one receiving the healing. I'm the one receiving the tools. I'm the one receiving the opportunities. We do, Mystic. We don't heal alone. There is some healing that we must do alone, yes, but the majority of what we do as a collective. And even when we are alone, we are not alone. We are never alone. Ghost Monkey, if you would like to discuss that particular topic, I would encourage you to come into the Discord. As we've been talking about bots and things like that in here, and there are certain things that I am not allowed to say or talk about on social media. But if you will come join us in the Discord, I can freely talk to you about those topics. Well, spirits, yes. Right? Spirits, yes. But the other piece of that, come into the Discord. My link is on my Linktree. I move a change on Linktree, and I move a change on Patreon. In both places, you can find a link to join my Discord. Yes, honey love, because we see a part of ourselves in each other. That's what we are. We are only mirrors for each other. We are only mirrors for ourselves. What I see in you is influenced only by my capacity to perceive me. Wow, think about that. Your capacity to perceive someone else as they truly are is directly correlated to your ability to see yourself as you truly are. If you see yourself as a very black and white, static person, this or that, simple, whatever, you're going to perceive a lot of other people in a very similar way. If you are more multifaceted and maybe understand humanity as a spectrum and see yourself as a spectrum of experience, you're going to see humanity in a different way, in that way. I can see through a pinhole. I have a lot to work on. Literally, our vision, like the field of vision, is that stinking small. And we're so high on our hoity-toity that we're like, oh no, I can see everything. But you can't, actually. Your brain is filling in those pieces. Two things. My favorite analogy and a quote to go with it. My favorite quote to go with it. Star Muse, I am super excited about that. I heard somebody just say in here that they saw your stuff and you're teaching. Are you teaching? Are you doing lives and sharing astrology? Because I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited if you were doing that. And if you were getting ready to do that. Fuck yes, I'm totally behind it. Please let me know that when you're live. And I will come check it out. Okay. All right. This is the way. There's a bunch of ways to say it, and the pirates always like to say it from a million angles instead of just one. So we're going to try to talk about this one. I know it's a little prism today. Every facet on this little prism is a perspective, is our own pinhole, right, that we see life through. In fact, when light, sunlight, right, when light goes through this prism, that light fractures into all the little split up rainbow bits, right? This is my favorite analogy for creation, for humanity, for all of creation, everything that we see in here, every one of us, for the collective. Consciousness, God, divinity, life, flows into this illusion of our matrix and immediately is split into all of the different facets of creation. Every color of the rainbow, right? The interesting thing about being a human is that we are essentially stuck on our facet. Once we're in that facet, once we manifest here into our reality, we are stuck in the illusion of this separation. And it's literally encouraged by the fact that my eyes can only see so much, my ears can only hear so much, my body can only feel whatever I can touch. I can't feel anything beyond that, right? To a certain degree. So we want to argue and bicker over how this perspective is right and this perspective is wrong and this one's right and this one's wrong and this one's better than that one and this one's higher than that one. But the reality is they are all necessary for the prism. Just in the same way that when we look at the sky after a rain and we see a rainbow, we're not sitting here arguing about how yellow is the only good color of a rainbow. And if you're not a yellow color, well, then you're bad or you're broken or you're wrong or you won't make it to heaven or whatever the hell else the fucking excuse is. No. Just like that rainbow is created by fractaled light, we are all parts of that light. And all part of it, therefore all necessary to it. So, one of my favorite quotes is Thich Nhat Hanh, because he said that the next coming of the Buddha or Christ or the Enlightened One is unlikely to be an individual person, is unlikely to show up as just one little color of the rainbow from one little perspective here. Instead, he says, it's likely to be a sangha, or a community of people practicing mindfulness together, or a collective of awareness. The collective awareness. It's not only that we support each other and help each other see ourselves and relate to each other. It's that we are all part of the same body. I may be the fingernail of the pinky while you're, the heel. I may be the smelly armpit, right, some days, and you may be the chin. But I need every part of my body to function. I might not like part of my body every day. I might think some are ugly. I might judge other. I might whatever. But it doesn't negate the necessity of it, the value of it. My digestive system, it's not pretty. Doesn't always smell good. But do I think that it shouldn't exist because I don't like it and I don't like how it's not perfect enough? God must have made a mistake and gave me a digestive system. No. It's imperative. Ghost monkey, we are all fractals of God. Precisely. Badass blind woman, I almost missed that you said that. I am now changing my mindset to believe that I do not need sight in order to have vision. Agreed. Agreed. I do not need sight in order to have vision. And in fact, knowing my sight is limited. How limited is my vision? Or how expansive can my vision be? I think you just found yourself, yes, a cheat code. I think you just found yourself a cheat code. My sight is limited, my vision is not. Oh, honey love, oh, I'm excited. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing next year. What I'm going to do is create journal size pages. There we go. That's the word. Journal size pages. And I think it's only going to be like 3 pages. This may be like a $3 download. I think Patreon requires me to minimum have things $3 or something. I'm going to make this really, really accessible so you guys, and the only reason I'm charging for it is because I can't put it in the shop without charging for it. And I like to make sure that there's some kind of exchange where if I create something like a workshop or a notebook or a workbook, then I'm going to put it there and ask for an exchange for it because I put energy into it. These classes, these are free. These are fun. If we were in the grocery store, I would be talking to you about this stuff. If we were in the park meditating and you came down and sat next to me and started asking me questions, I would sit there with you as long as I had the time to do so and answer them. So it's disingenuous for me to charge for this stuff. But the reality is when I spend time making something, I would like to create an exchange for that. So I am going to create a daily check-in. Those pages are going to be, once you purchase it, you can make as many copies of it as you want, right? You will have the PDF. So not a PDF, sure, but it's only going to be 2-3 pages. One page is going to have outlines of the body so that you can color all around your aura. I want you to daily get into a practice of coloring what you feel, what your inner vision, right, or your actual vision tells you that your aura feels like. On the side of this page will be a chart of the emotion scale of emotions, right, with like fear, anger, joy, love, authenticity, right? So that you can mark whether once or multiple times during the day. At 2 o'clock, I felt this. At 8, I felt 8 a.m., I felt this. When you do that every single day for an entire year, if we do that for an entire year together, even if you do it for a couple times a week together, you are going to seriously increase your understanding of your system. And every month, the reason I am giving you all the tools I have for each layer is because I'm not in your body. I don't live your life. I don't know what you actually need. I know a bunch of stuff that's for what you're experiencing, but it's up to you and your inner guru to decide what you need. So we'll have the daily check-in pages, and then we will also have pages that will allow you to put in what's the tool we learned today, how I felt about it, whether or not it worked, when I used it, when I, if I had resistances to it. This is going to be your exploration. You can do it every day. You can do it once a week. You can do it once a month. The more you sit with it, the more it will enlighten your system. One of the greatest gifts that all of this has given me is the ability to recognize my intrinsic power. That I don't need to go shell out tens of thousands of dollars for medical care that only treats symptoms. I don't need to go shell out thousands and thousands of dollars for therapy that only treats my mind. And I really hate having to fight with insurance or pay exorbitant amounts for actual healing tools. But people like to put high price tags on them. Why? Because somewhere in our brains, somewhere in the collective, somewhere in the narrative, somewhere in the paradigm says, you don't deserve to be well, healthy, and balanced on your own. No, you have to suffer first. You have to work for it. And only the elite, only the well-off get access to good quality care and a good quality life. Excuse the fuck me, what? I'm over it. I've been watching that create a paradigm that we have all been living in. I've been watching it since the 90s. And it makes me mad. And it makes me mad that we are at where we're at and that so many people are being manipulated by a system that does not have our best interests at heart. Honey love, why can folks connect to me but not me to them? I do feel others' energy, but I don't know whose. Honey love. I'm letting the pirates answer you. Because there's a couple of factors there. One pirate wants to offer you protective tools, which I can offer. But then a second pirate says the protective tools are not enough. Because if you're using protective tools, but then you are pulling energy from other people, your protective tools will be moot. If your energy body is so pulled in because you're living in a state of fear, anxiety, anger, that kind of stuff, it's going to be much easier for other people's energy to weasel into your energy body because you don't have that degree of buffer, right? That degree of buffer. Our healthy, well energy, our balanced energy bodies are typically all the way out just past our fingertips. That's pretty big. What I liked about COVID was the whole 6-foot radius thing. And I was like, yeah, get out of my energy bubble. Now nobody can step in my fucking energy bubble. But then there's another pirate behind that who reminds us that every experience within my system is an experience for me. And someone's ability to access my energy and to actually put their energy in my space has a lot more to do with my allowing it than them being able to do it. And it takes a very skilled individual to intentionally direct their energy through your system consistently and reliably. I know there's a lot of people online doing Reiki and energy work, but I can tell you that there are very few people who can actually access your energy body in a way that makes you feel it. It's been better. And also, transmuting. Yep, okay. Transmuting is really important too. When you feel that energy, remind yourself that there's nothing in your system that's there without permission. My favorite practice, when I'm feeling something that I'm not familiar with, I immediately assume it's me. Because if it's not me, it's at least an interaction with me. So I give myself permission. Like you're saying, transmute it. Give myself permission. Breathe it in, take a deep breath. Weird energy. That doesn't feel like me. That's odd. Okay. Breathe it in, open my heart center, make space for it. Whoa, that feels really weird. Whatever that nasty feeling I think somebody's sending towards me, those cute emotional daggers. Okay. Send it back through the heart and transmute it into love. Send love back. Does that mean you should be standing face to face with somebody who's like physically accosting you and send love back and transmute that? No, not at all. Get your physical self to safety and use the emotional self to send back love. And honey love, I also understand, because my personal experience is to be a transmuter. I know that there are a lot of us who are here solely for the purpose of processing energy. So if you find yourself somebody who maybe experiences a lot of or have been always sensitive to energy, you may just be a filter for energy. And if that's your experience and you feel inclined to lean towards love, please do. It helps the collective. Honey love, because I'm happy and everything is good, it will come from nowhere. And even within us, though, remember that when we are at peace, if we have felt discomfort or pain before, let me say that again. When we are at rest, if tension still remains in our body, it's much more obvious that tension is there than if we are moving and doing a bunch of stuff. So if I'm running around the world and doing all these things that are happening, I'm not going to notice these little aches and pains so much, maybe. But when I'm suddenly still and silent, I sit down in the chair and I'm like, whoa, all of that energy. And sometimes energy arises within us because it's asking us to heal it. If you've come to a place where you're so happy and full of joy and feeling so balanced, and then out of nowhere comes a really icky feeling, it could be pebbles at the bottom of your barrel. It could be just a little bit of debris still in there. I personally have found more freedom and personal power in stepping away from trying to figure out who was attacking me and pointing fingers, because as soon as I do this, I give my power away, right? So instead, I say, this is my energy. And there is no one allowed in here without my permission. And if there's anything that's in here that feels uncomfortable, it needs my love and attention. You hear a new thing? Repain? Oh, man. Yeah, most moments where we feel resistance. Ghost monkey must be a filter as well. I think that it's part of what the collective is doing right now. And we are choosing to engage in it or not. I feel like the folks who are choosing love, we are choosing to engage in the evolution, in the enlightenment of our species, in the expansion and growth of our species, of our collective, of creation, actually, not just humans. And those of us who are not choosing that, we're struggling. We're struggling. Thank you, Jess. We're struggling with the evolution. The collective is enlightening right now. Ooh, honey love could be. It always has been right before bed at 12. So I struggle a lot with bedtime, and in part that's a lot of old stuff there in my psyche and in my body in regard to other experiences, and that for that reason it's my favorite thing to meditate right before bed. Spend a few minutes just with those feelings and let them know that they're safe, right? Resistance of being our true self. Remember, simplify it. Seriously, this has helped me so much. Instead of wondering who's attacking me energetically, instead of wondering who is psychically attacking me, instead of wondering who's trolling me, instead of wondering, right, who did this to me back then and then, instead of wondering exactly what happened, instead of any of those fucking details, which pulls the energy up to the brain and out of the experience. The biggest thing that helped me is that when an experience happens, I very first thing pause to feel the experience. Because tension is my check engine light. Another way to say it, you know the stack of stones, a cairn, CARYN, I think is the way you call it, right? There's like stones stacked on top of each other, and you got to balance them just right so that they don't wiggle and fall down. You see these all over the place out in the wild. I do, at least. A bunch of hippies going hiking, man. But the cairn is a really good analogy for the energy for tension. The top stone on the cairn, if any other stone is out of balance, if you poke any other stone on this stack, what is the one that's going to shake? The other ones might shake too, but the one that's absolutely going to shake no matter what stone you touch, it's the top stone. The top stone is the body, is the physical body, is the most material piece of me that I have. Yeah? It's the most matrixy me. So it's the top of the cairn. Hey, Ashes, how are you? It's the top of the cairn. That means that if my emotions, breath, maybe my relationships, maybe my health, maybe my digestion, anything inside of me or even outside of me, because all those things are experienced inside of me, if any of these are out of balance, what happens? My body tells me through tension. Just like when I am out of balance and trying to get back in, the muscles in my body are constantly tensing up to find center. But if you've ever tried to stack those stones, you know that finding center does not require tension. Is it tension that is holding the stones in balance in the cairn? No. It's finding the center of them. Therefore, any experience of being out of center is going to be an experience of tension. Star Muse, it's suggested to go back to the first resistance to being yourself and releasing. Yes, and for some of us, that's under layers and layers and layers of resistance, right? So I always suggest you just go to the resistance you feel in the moment. Instead of trying to create something separate and trying to find something far away, the best for me has been to deal with what's right here and right now, and only what's right here and right now. Because when I'm only right here and right now, everything I need is right here and right now. My past lives in my reactivity now. My past lives in my tension in my body, in my breath, in my mind. It lives here and it's fully alive right now. I don't have to go into the past. I don't have to travel into the future. It's right here. So any moment of tension, when my jaw clenches, my son comes in here and my jaw clenches. It's about boundaries, right? I meet it with what? What are our 4 pillars of mindfulness in here? Curiosity and willingness. When I feel that moment of tension, I meet it first with curiosity and willingness. And as I move forward, I make sure to align my intention and my attention. Said differently, my intention is my North Star. My attention is my compass that keeps me on my path. So in a moment of tension, that tension, let's say my jaw clenches. I meet it with curiosity and willingness. And then I set my intention to release the tension. That's simple. And I keep my attention on that practice. Maybe it's relaxing my jaw, muscles in my jaw, and breathing. So for just a few minutes, I'm going to give that all of my attention. And if my mind wanders off and it's like, wait, what about the thing we're about to do? Yes, I have 5 minutes. Hold on a second. Bring the attention back. I can't always be patient. I can't always be loving. I can't always be kind even to myself. And sometimes when I feel tension, there's frustration associated with it, or anger associated with it, or fear associated with it. So I feel like it's also disingenuous to say, love yourself. Fear, tension, anger shows up in your body, in your head, in your breath, in your heart, in your emotions. That's not the space for love. That's the space for what you're experiencing. And if I try to deny what I'm experiencing and immediately shift to love, I'm going to recompartmentalize that. I'm going to push that back down in me, and it's going to keep patterning itself. Curiosity and willingness. And I'm going to give it all of my attention. And my intention usually circles back around, just trying to be curious and willing about what it is. We'll get to the complicated practices. We'll get to the deeper work, okay? We'll get to the cool visuals and cool shit that you get from doing mindfulness for a long time. We'll get there. But I encourage you to start with the simplest pieces. Here and now. Wash rice, carry water. Breathe in, breathe out. I love you too, Ashes. I gotta go too. I said I was gonna go 20 minutes ago. Apparently I was just waiting for you to show up. Curiosity is a gift. Curiosity is what keeps this cat alive, I tell you. If it weren't for curiosity, I'd be bored to tears. Badass blind woman, I love you so much. Thank you, friend. So, again, last time. Not the last time, because I'll say it a million times. Come join the Discord. Next month, I will only have Friday classes. Tomorrow we will have Bhakti Bites. We will have Bhakti Bites tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. But in December, I will only have Friday Tiny Yoga from 10 a.m. to 11 Pacific time on the social media. In Discord, actually, in Discord, I'll put the Zoom link. I might even put it on the Patreon page so you don't have to join. But we will do a daily, Monday through Thursday, just 30 minutes to an hour meditation. It's not going to be a lot of anything else except for practicing the mudra, practicing breath work. We're not going to do a lot of this Dharma talk stuff. I'm not, the only answering questions and interaction like that I'm going to be doing will be in the Discord itself, where you can drop questions, or through my content on social media. I am pulling back so that I can use that energy to prepare for next year, so we can start off with a really awesome flow. And I will keep posting content about this kind of stuff, but I may do some more shenanigan style lives, like read a book or, I don't know, do silly things like that, in hopes of kind of shaking up this platform, so that TikTok will stop looking at me as, I'll have to change all my hashtags too. TikTok will stop looking at me as a, you know, as one that needs to be, whatever, flagged. So we're going to do all those fun things. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this amazing journey and helping me see if we can get this information out to as many people as need it, want it, right? Okay. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. And reach out to me if you have any questions. Feel free to send me a message. Feel free to comment on content. Come into the Discord. Chat with me there. You know all the things. You've stopped using hashtags entirely, Badass Blind Woman? I don't know. I might be inclined to do it. Should we do all next year with 0 hashtags at all? Ooh, that'll be a good experiment. All right. I love you. I'm going to go eat with my son, see what he's made for lunch. And night-night, YouTube.